and then maybe this tournament.
Okay.
But I can do that for 2 metrics.
Okay.
At some point in the playoffs, then it will appear as a graphic.
Okay.
But I can also see a graphic on screen 2 metrics. As we are looking at some point in the moment, then we're looking at some of the fastest. But I can also see a graphic on screen 2 metrics. And later on at some point in the moment, then we're looking at some of the fastest. But I can also see a graphic on screen 2 metrics. So we're having delays some. But I can also see a 300 game here, so we're having data. It'll be to the fact that we have
a high ground
issue. So we're having data. It'll be
this small
to
pause even.
ground
so
issue.
we're having data.
A little bit of a break.
Coordinated.
Yeah.
You can listen to episode 2 of our podcast on YouTube or other platforms. We'll be linking in chat later on.
All right. Axe. Are we going to see it be respected in first phase? Either bans or picks?
I feel like it's still an amazing hero, but if you're picking it, you should be comfortable on flexing it.
Okay.
He's still sitting on what now, 57% win rate.
It's very good.
It's a really good win rate.
And Tundra have first pick this time. So Gaiman aren't under pressure to be like, we got to pick the Axe, we're first pick.
Yeah, there's that profit still in the pool, and I believe that
Easier for the wannabe mid SS nowadays because they don't go for the yours, so they don't miss their Requiem. They go for Yasha, Kaya, and Blink, so the cast point's reduced. So it's like the game's plan is still.
And he just hits you from like high ground or something with that Requiem, but it is a really good pick into DP, right? Like you into DP, you always want these glass cannon ranged heroes. Lina is a good example. SF as well. If it's played on the mid lane, it's a bit better. But I feel like even on the side lane, if they can combo it with the right position 5, and the right position 5 would even on the side lane, if they can combo it with the right position 5, a tanky boy up the right position 5 would even on the side lane, if they can combo it with the right position 5, a tanky boy up the right position 5 would even on the side lane, if they can combo it with the right position 5, a tanky boy up the right position 5 would even on the side lane, if they can combo it.
It takes that one fight around 20-25 minutes, and any objective that you want is pretty much available. Like you could just walk towards it and you take it very, very quickly.
There's just so many games with SF when that timer goes even down, right? Like minute 17, he's rocking up your tier 2s. If the lane goes well, I feel like this hero snowballs like nothing else in the game right now. He's very susceptible to just being picked off and killed at any given point in the game, but there is like one sweet spot where if the team is playing correctly around him, they will take your objectives.
And they're taking away the concepts that punish a Shadow Fiend, right? Anything BKB piercing when he wants to stand his ground. The Tusk that Tundra would have loved to utilize with a Death Prophet, that's gone. Also would have punched the Shadow Fiend. They block pick the Batrider that can lasso the Shadow Fiend, stop him from standing his ground and right-clicking.
This is kind of annoying, right? With the repositioning and a lot of burst damage,
of course,
coming from the tiny.
Ooh.
And Chen is really cool. Yeah. Like
they want to tank up very quickly,
damage,
right? Of course,
coming from the tiny.
We saw because of the change to Aghanims. 33
really
units in one game went for yours. They want to tank up very deep and lift Death rushing the Aghanims. Because they have a Chen that can buy a mech. 33 units in one game went for yours. They want to tank up very deep and lift Death rushing the Aghanims. Because they have a Chen that can buy a mech. 33 units in one game went for yours. They want to tank up very deep and lift Death rushing the Aghanims. Because they have a Chen that can buy a mech. 33 units in one game went for yours. They want to tank up very deep and lift Death rushing the Aghanims. About 33 units in one game went for yours. They want to tank up very deep and lift Death rushing the Aghanims.
But that was a Venomancer who knew his matchups and generally against a melee hero.
Look, I think this hero has a place in Dota again. Like
he does, yeah, he does.
He isn't your I'm gonna go offlane and just farm position 4. I think that even if he's not a core, that there are some plays that he can make.
Yeah, I see it as this is your 5 position paired with a Shadow Fiend that can just chase down anyone. If Tiny wants to grab a wave, he's going to get galed, slowed up. Shadow Fiend can walk over, hit a raise, you can threaten him. If Death Prophet's by herself on the wave, same thing. And if anything, it ensures that when Tundra inevitably come to an objective, a lot of anti-fight is getting thrown in. You've got Solar Guardian, you've got your Plague Wars getting thrown down. The problem is, outside of that defending an objective concept that they built into their lineup, Lockdown isn't very good for them, right? It's Lasso, Door Breaker, which is not reliable at all. So elusive heroes are very valuable. Storm Spirit gets picked up. BZM might just have a completely free.
Yeah, you got to ban like Ember and Puck here.
Yeah,
exactly. If you're Tundra. But yeah, like Veno and SF into DP, I feel like might be. Let's see. There's still some like skill potential to be outplayed by Tiny, but in general, the Gale. Like you want to play around you want to play around your Spirit Siphon. You get Galed and then they just move back and kite you. You won't keep that range. So it's really cool, and it's, I believe, the longest slow in the game on level 1. So it's extremely annoying for a DP to play against.
What do you do if a Chen wanders into your lane, though?
Well, then you cry.
Just making sure.
Yeah, like Chen is the big oomph that Tundra have got on their side. And his rotations, if they are done correctly and if he finds enough space to do them, will be crucial.
I wouldn't mind Tundra just probably going back for the Gyrocopter, as much as we joked about it in the first game due to the interview. I feel like you kind of want Chrysalis to be independent around level 4, level 5, so that we can see these Chen rotations. And they do ban out the Ember Puck, yep.
I mean, Ursa into Veno feels grief. Lifestealer into Bat and SF sounds okay-ish as well, I think, maybe. But Gyro is also good. Like, just options that they can go for.
I'm more intrigued. I don't really mind what Tundra picked, because I think that their draft is built around Storm having a completely free game anyways. So if there are any other problems, BZM will fix them when he has his early items.
Some Kunkka with Dex Marks versus the Dawnbreaker again. Yeah, they go with the lifesteal.
I mean, this is also very active just because of Gorestorm. Maybe we haven't seen it as much on the mainstream, but when you take the facet, you jump into an Ancient Creep. You are also using the Twin Gate.
Yep. And they've been gore storming here and there, like a couple of.
You are also using the Twin Gate.
Yep.
And very
they've been gore storming here and there, like a couple of.
You are also using the
You
Twin
can play
Gate
around the Storm Spirit as well.
They've
been gore storming here and there, like a couple of.
You are also using the
You can play around the Storm Spirit as well.
They've been
gore storming here and there, like a couple of.
Dude, he's been advocating for Void Spirit since the range they never picked these. Dude, he's been advocating for Void Spirit since the range they never picked these.
You do see the entire draft. Quinn, when he sees heroes, feels good. But the fact that your lineup has one stun into a Storm and a Lifestealer and a Death Prophet, you kind of want a bit more control. And that means they're going to just try and win lanes instead. So they flip things around. They pick up the Ursa.
So it's SF mid.
Quinn then takes the SF. Okay.
The lane is all right.
Yeah.
Like you shouldn't struggle. I think they're safely in. Like with Ursa is actually a bit weaker.
Yeah.
Even though there is skill potential, of course, with the Ursa as well. They shouldn't struggle too hard. It's Ursa plus Venomancer. They just hunt you and run you down.
I thought we were really advocating for Quinn being able to get the matchup of his dreams, though. And at some point, a Storm Spirit is going to make life quite difficult for a Shadow Fiend.
Like all things, because of the facets introduced to Dota, Storm Spirit, where before Shadow Fiend is a good matchup, because you have to get into the range of the creeps, into the basically melee range.
To put your Remnant down.
Exactly. Static Slide, the Remnant walks away for you. Storm's going to be fine in that matchup. It feels like Gaming just didn't want to have a carry in the safe lane that can get Chen rotating on him, killing him very quickly. So at least has a bit more survivability. I'm just worried for Gaming that if they don't crush the lanes, snowball throughout the early game, trying to kill off an elusive Storm with a Lifestealer who's got Rage jumping around, DP who's going to have items, Chen buffing everyone up. Like, Gaming have to win on tempo, it feels like. Or ultra late game.
Yeah, ultra late game for them sounds fine. Maybe they overcompensated to game number 1. Because look at this, like now they have SF and Ursa. Eventually these guys will pop off. And Storm and Lifestealer, even though they scale very nicely, they don't scale as well. So I think that there is actually some late game potential from Gaming.
It was very intentional that they gave away the Death Prophet. If anyone's going to be playing it, it's the team that has played it the most. And he's getting another opportunity to do it in this game number 2. Let's see how Moon Meander's feeling about it with Nomad.
Yeah, I'm here with Vibes coach Moon Meander. How's it going? You confident about this one?
Yeah, so looking like a really good Storm game. They have no stunts for Storm, just one lasso, basically. So, yeah, I think BZM's going to do good.
Cool. Any concerns about the Quinn Shadow Fiend?
Not really. I feel like he's better on his spirits type hero. I haven't seen him play SF once, and it's kind of a slow hero, so we'll see.
All right. Okay. Well, on the other side of things, of course, you've kind of got these guys' number. It feels like, and every time you guys come against each other, you always seem to have the answers. Even in this tournament, where you've been slightly less consistent, and they've been very consistent, not dropping a game yet, and now this happens. Like, what's the secret?
I don't want to say too much, but I feel they have a certain pattern if you look at them closely. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, that's very cryptic. Thank you very much, Moon Meander. Good luck in this game number 2. We'll send over to our casters for this one, Odie Pixel and Kezu.
Thank you very much there, Nomad and Moon. Here we go, game 2 time, and it's going to be a fun one to see. Kezu, we got Tundra versus Gaming Gladiators. Last picks coming in, we get the Life Stealer for Tundra, and then for Gaming Gladiator side of things, us comes in, means we are going to see Quinn take this SF to mid, something that we just don't get to see. Hasn't happened in a long time.
Yeah, not really. And we even heard Moon talk about it in the interview, because I kind of agree. You know, when I think of Quinn, I think of Puck, Quap, Void Spirit. You go in, you go out, you get like 3-4 rounds of spells. That's Whitemon being a little annoying, just throwing a little mana burn at him. Don't know if he cares too much, but yeah. Last time Quinn played this in an official game, he did destroy.
He did.
It was like, what, 11 months ago?
11 months ago.
Had a pretty banger performance against Team Liquid. So maybe he can replicate.
Yeah, but just to sort of give a sort of example of how rare Quinn's SF is in tournament, games. In the last 5 years, he's played it about, I think he's played it about six times, 5 or 6 times. Like, very rarely will they bring this out. Overall, his career win rate has not been bad with the hero, though. So we could see some good stuff from Quinn on the SF today.
Yeah, wouldn't put it past him. So let's see if Whitemon wants to keep his creep mid longer or not. Already did burn him twice. But overall, when we look at the drafts, I would give Tundra the upper hand. You do have a very good Storm game, and the DP yesterday looked so strong. Gaming, they need tempo, they need to keep it, and honestly, they need better lanes than last time.
Yeah, because this is, how do they catch this Storm?
He's got to get lassoed, or Quinn needs some items.
Like that, yeah. It's items or the lasso, basically.
Yeah.
Everything else, sure, there's that last hit with the Dawnbreaker's hammer swings, but that's not going to happen. So yeah, BZM, this is a game where if he plays it smooth, he may not die at all.
Yeah. We'll definitely have to see how it goes. It's Chrysalis taking a lot of pressure.
Yeah, did you like last pick for Chrysalis getting the Life Stealer this game?
Yeah, I would say so. It's a pretty good Life Stealer game. Of course, I mean, Gaming have answers, right? You've got Veno ult, you've got Lasso. Dawnbreaker is so-so. I mean, Dawnbreaker will beat Life Stealer in the lane. And you have the Ursa matchup, so Gaming, yeah, they have answers. But it's not just about the Life Stealer. It's also about the Infest Bomb with the DP, with the Storm. I like it quite a lot.
Yeah, and sort of talking about the DP, are you sort of surprised that we're seeing these sort of opportunities for 33 to grab this as the first pick? Do you think this does need to be banned out against him, or can it be dealt with?
I would have said it does kind of need to be banned out, but of course Gaming have some sort of idea. Maybe you close the phase with, as they did with like a range carry with the Lina or the Shadow Fiend. It's looked bonkers yesterday. We'll see if Gaming, if their plan will work out.
Yeah, because of course that is one of the things, right, about leaving it in. You know it's going to be picked, so you should have some sort of strategy ready to deal with it. And the mid now, Quinn already getting that early lead. Should now start to get to a point where it will get tougher and tougher for the Storm. Top lane.
No mana.
They're going to be able to chase him down. Should be the first blood here for Watson. Saxa, there's nowhere to go. First blood for the Bear.
Nicely done. Well, there was something that Gaming did in the draft that I kind of liked. They did, of course, they banned out the Tusk, then they picked the Bat themselves. You see the pos for Tiny, and you give it a really hard lane to play into. The Veno 5 with the Ursa carry, not going to be such an easy game for Saxa.
Wow.
Ooh, many pauses today.
Oh, what's going on here? A reason?
Oh.
What's happened?
Saxa did not pick up the items that are on the ground. Very curious.
Oh, what do you mean?
So he's TPing.
Oh.
So 3-3. Gonna have to bring his own items.
That's miscommunication there.
Big deal. That could be the game win for Gaiman. 1-1. Call it.
Bring in the items.
Call it.
That's how to make your offlaner mad. Oh. Didn't quite catch him there. Quinn's going to be chilling. He's going to continue to hold the lead in this lane.
Yep. Quite unlucky on the pause there, I guess, for Tundra. But definitely need to respect this move. If BZM gets a grab later on one of the next TPs with the Saxa TP, could be scary for Quinn, of course, with the tossback Arini.
Coming out on top on all 3 lanes here. What the cause game is so far on the CS.
Yeah, bottom lane kind of boring, I would say. Like, if you're Tundra, sure, Lifestealer Chen, it's not like you have any real pressure or threat. You're just happy getting your heroes through, which means Ace will have a good time. SF is favored against the Storm mid, and yeah, same with the top lane for Gaiman. So at least the laning stage and the early game this time around should look quite good for them. As 33 does get his earn.
BZM is going to have to be careful here on this last little bit of progress from the 4 to the 6 on the Storm. I guess, yeah, I'd imagine... Saxa on this top lane, is he going to need to stick around in much more, or is it getting close to the point where 33 can chill and we're going to see Saxa try and make some sort of plays elsewhere, or do you want to see him stay up and just try and put some sort of pressure onto the Ursa lane?
With the lane control that they have been having, it's good for him to, like... I mean, with the lane control, he is kind of freed up, but now that Gaiman get this pull-off, maybe you want to stay a bit more. But on all the active runes, he has to look on the mid lane. You need to help out your Storm against this SF matchup. And of course, SF is super susceptible. This Melody just popping out a lot of harass. Let's see, wouldn't be surprised if we have a big old fiesta in the mid lane once the active rune comes out.
Tofu,
my brother!
That's to pop it very far for that one.
Oh, even himself, he's like, whoo-hoo! Well, he will not be available on the 6-minute rule.
He won't.
So, Mr. Quinio, who will help you on this quest?
Let's see if he gets lucky. Design up the bottom, but indeed the numbers there for Tundra, bringing in both supports around the 6-minute power rune. Quinn, not going to get lucky on the RNG, is going to be top, so that will be a haste rune for BZM.
Yep.
And he's just about hitting the 6 as well, so BZM not having an easy lane, of course, against the SF, but he doesn't die. He's going to hit the 6. He's got through that sort of tough period. He's going to be fine on the Storm.
Yep, the first rune, it always can matter. If you look at Tundra's lineup, they have the type of heroes where they want to collapse on a lane, maybe with the first DP ult. Similar move as last game, TP to the safe lane from the bat.
Typhoon Watson ready to come over to try and go for Saxa. Avalanche will trip Watson up for now.
BZM is coming with the haste.
See what BZM can do to turn this around. Saxa, of course, already dead. Can BZM find anything in return? It's just a little too scary fighting into the Firefly and the Bear that's ready to punch back. So, Gaiman, they'll get the kill. They don't have to lose anything.
Good hold and good usage of heroes here by Gaiman. I like that quite a lot.
Oh, Chrysalis, he's going to go for the little Shrine of Wisdom steal.
For the layup.
And he's going to get it. Nobody's come over it. Yeah. Easy.
So they didn't expect Mr. Chrysalis to just walk over as the carry?
They saw the Chen still sort of hovering around the lane. They're like, well, the carry won't be here, but he was. So that's 2 wisdoms there to start off here, 7 minutes in for Tundra.
Well, nice heads-up play by Chrysalis. I mean, this is also why Dota is just... Sometimes you just need to see what the enemy does. You know, maybe your play isn't great, but if they're not ready for it, they don't expect it. Suddenly, boom, baby. Free Shrine for Crystallis.
Very nice for him.
Got another active rune in 30. Tofu is being a greedy little man, farming lots of neutrals this time around. Should be in time this time to get towards the active rune.
I mean, I feel that this is definitely a game where you probably don't mind Tofu being a bit more greedy because of how important
yes, absolutely.
his blink's going to be eventually, right? Because that's going to be the catch.
Yeah.
that there's going to be so important for them to make the moves. Maybe down the line, if there's some sort of Yules pick up on Quinn or something, they'll have that additional setup. And until then, if they want to start making aggressive plays,
it's on him.
You're looking to the Batrider. Saxa. And looks to be in trouble here. Did manage to take the Arcane Rune, but he'll die for that. Quinn turns up with a raise to pick up the kill.
Gaben doing very, very well in this game. You've got the 2k lead, and it's not just that. You have a very early Dawn ult with heroes that, you know, are strong and can use it, of course, with the Ursa and the Shadow Fiend. Ace should be able to just walk it off. Who cares?
Yeah, Ace is not under any sort of threat from these two right now.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Which means Gaben, they can either choose to keep farming up on their 2 supports in the jungle, or you could look for a move in your safe lane. I see that Watson is pinging. I would like this move a lot. You have the Dawn ult available.
33 looks like... is he actually going to overstep the mark? How likely is that they catch him out? He's playing pretty safe right now.
Let's see. Tundra, BZM was swinging over towards the bottom lane, because whenever you play against a Dawn, take note, this is absolutely the best thing you can do. You need to attack the hero on the lane that Dawn is in. But Ace playing it pretty safe. Will not give them any attack.
Both teams chilling for the time being. He's going to go for that Orchid again. Just they need the items to enable the setup on Gamen's lineup when they look for those kills. So Orchid feeling a necessity here for someone to buy. Ace is going to take that upon himself.
Well, you've got a lot of heroes that are getting some build up. Of course, you've got Crystallis in the top lane with the ancient Black Dragon and the first Exo.
Malady and Watson are hovering around. Difficult to fight into the Ghost, though.
Let's see if they want to like make some time and fight towards the end, because of course you do have the Dawn ult. You're not weak here.
Now bring in Quinn over as well, so he's relatively close. Doesn't look like they're going to be able to make a jump onto them, though. And tower goes down. Tundra got what they wanted, and they don't leave anyone behind to get caught by Gaiman.
Now they're looking for their own move into the safe lane again. Saxa does TP into there. Not sure if they'll get a play going.
BZM. He's going to get the grab onto Tofu. Do they want to use the Solar Guardian for this? They won't. They'll let him go. Now they're going to try and turn onto BZM. He's got a little bit of mana left. It's enough to get him back in the river. The heal comes in from Whitemon. BZM's going to be fine. Gets out of there.
Yeah, making it look easy. I mean, you do kind of hate playing Batrider into all these Pox, Quap, Storms. They just get on you, they can kill you. And he still gets out.
And even though it's like sort of a slow start from Tundra, as you can't help but have the feeling that we might see BZM get away with a lot of those sort of moves this game as the Storm.
Well, he is somewhat struggling, but he's doing okay. We'll have to see what gaming... Crystallis?
It's going to take quite a beating here. He's got him fessed up in a second.
1 second.
And he's into the creep. They can kill the creep off, though.
Avalanche?
He's going to get thrown away there. Saxa coming in. Tiny Airlines getting Crystallis back to safety.
A very rare positive Tiny Airlines.
Yes, that's true. Finally getting a good review.
Yeah. Clutch. Let's see if Gaming can turn it into a little tower pressure. Do have an illusion rune on Quinn. This is I mean, the Fuzzy Wuzzy Bear. Watson, he's getting very farmed.
He is. He's going to be massive this game.
It's a completed Battle Fury.
12 minutes in. Saxa is going to go down again here on the bottom lane. Of course, at the moment, the only one dying. You know, he's tanking the deaths at the moment, Saxa. The 4 kills, they've all been against the Tiny. We'll catch it again on the replay. This great escape from Crystallis.
Any higher cooldown on this Infest, and
exactly. Look at the timing there. Comes up in the final moment. Back in action. Jump's been made on the Malady. The Solar Guardian comes in. It's Not going to save Malady, though. BZM having enough damage to take him down. Ace has got to be careful himself. BZM's going to jump over towards him. Avalanche is there onto the two of them. Toss back as well. Ace, can he survive? The lasso comes in clutch from Tofu to make sure Ace survives as they lock down BZM. Quinn cleans up the double. Gaming, they won't let Tundra or BZM get away with that time.
Well, it looked like initially BZM will just be kind of toying with them with the shield rune, right, and all the zips, but they clutch in the last on him, double race, and quickly make work of him.
Yeah, all three cores of Gaming continuing to hold those top spots. Incredibly farmed. That Orchid's going to come out super fast this game for Ace. He's pretty much got it done. And yeah, Watson, his farm's just going to skyrocket with this Battle Fury into Blink Dagger timing that he's going to smash.
Yeah, 1 CS for Ace and he's got it complete. So BZM does have to be careful. It's not the type of game where you can just go crazy in. As I say that, they do pick up another kill on Malady.
Yeah, we'll catch Malady in the river. BZM, even though he did die there, you know that he's not going to slow down on the aggression.
Oh, absolutely.
He's going to keep going for these plays, these kills, anytime he sees an opportunity. He's not going to be scared off by just dying the once.
They've got a lot of tankiness, of course, on Tundra. We've got a set of Tormentor, lots of HP regen, which means Venom's damage is kind of whatever at this point.
Now BZM will get straight over for this. Regen room for him. This mid tower, probably going down by the looks of it, Gaming.
Yeah.
They won't look to hold it this time.
You've got DP available, Crystallis again. And the Ancient Black Dragon here once more to just make sure to secure the tower.
Scouting out what's going on behind as well. Not going to have a chance to get onto Quinn. Quinn and Kayasha into the blink. In this game for him.
Ooh.
A pause. Oh, but he's looking around. Is he all right?
Quinn is
cold.
cold.
He's a bit cold. Can we turn the heating up? Yeah, turn the heating up. We're doing it right now. He's a bit chilly.
Quinn needs the puffer jacket. It's
get the jumpers on.
It's kind of how Quinn powers up anyway.
Yeah, we're getting the coat on for this one.
Tofu. Okay.
What was he doing?
He's undressing.
Oh, he's got the opposite. He's like, too hot in here.
I think he's offering his jacket.
Oh, he was. Yeah. Oh, that was very sweet. He was indeed offering.
Of course, he's a great teammate. Yeah. Tofu, lovely lad.
That is the true support there. Is he going to give? Where's the jacket going?
Oh,
I don't know. Is it too hot or too cold in there? You know, Tofu's taking his clothes off. Quinn's putting them on.
You never know.
Oh. No. Okay. No. Oh. It's like kind of half on coat style here. The reverse coat.
Oh, the USA way of jacket. I like it.
I don't want to. I'm not going to say anything about what's going on it.
Well,
yeah.
I'll focus on the game.
And let's focus on the game.
So we've got a 4K for gaming.
Anyway,
they're doing great.
Yep.
What is going on?
I'm really. I think we're just trying to fix something, maybe.
There must be something.
Let's watch the replay. Let's get a replay. Oh, what's this a replay? What is this a replay of?
I thought it was going to be Tofu undressing, but it's not. He's laughing.
It's a replay of nothing.
Of Red Bull. Are we showing
what's going on? Oh, this is a live. This isn't even a replay. This is just live.
It's just labeled.
We just lied to you. This is not a replay. This is live. We're just seeing what's going on. So, some sort of temperature situation.
Absolutely. We're of course we are on the case. We're helping them out.
We are. Yeah, well, we've got the AC button over here. We can set the setting. What temperature they want. We can change it.
They just need to let us know.
Oh, okay. Quick drinks break.
Also, you have a 4K lead here for Gaming Gladiators. I wonder how much attention both teams will give to the good old Roshi Roshan.
Okay.
Because when you play Ursa, first age is of course very important. But Tundra also could think about potentially giving it, more emphasis. You have the Exorcism, you've got the Chen creeps. Storm Aegis, of course, not too shabby. Let's see. Saxa was allowed to do this yesterday. He goes to the offlane at some point when he's not too far from the blink, and he just AFKs
there. We go.
We are ready.
We're good. The temperature's been sorted. And we're ready to roll.
Win probability at a near 50-50, even though there's a 4K lead on the Gaben's Gladiators. I feel like there should be a little more favored at this point.
All right, closing in on that relic. Crystallis.
Well, Radiance sure is nice against the Ursa. You do like the evasion.
Yeah, they're going to be happy with this start game.
Will he find the sentry, Owen?
Yes. Why? No,
he needs the courier.
It's true. He's going to bring it over, right? Oh, you're right. Maybe that sentry's going to get away with it.
Crystal, let's move your courier. Well, they'll just give it. So this sentry...
It's going to stay.
From Malady. Genius.
Very nice placement. Got to check the replays for that one. That's a nice sneaky one.
And a good ward on the bottom. Of course, Dota, with such a big map, you need to play in a bit of the little groups. So you've got Malady protecting Watson, his good old brother in the bottom lane. Well, everyone is just farming away for now, trying to get to their timings. Blink daggers, radiances.
Because you got to imagine, with this sort of start, right? I think if you're gaming, like this has got to be what you planned for, what you drafted for, right?
Oh, yeah.
You're getting everything you wanted, all your cores are farming. So if things do start to go downhill from here, that's going to be quite a problem for gaming.
Oh, for sure.
Because you've had the start you wanted. It's like, great, let's see what you can do with it.
I would say it's the start plus it's a little bit more.
Yeah.
If you're up like 2k, 3k gold,
Here we go.
Oh, Daddy-o.
Oh, is it going to be enough, though? It's kind of off to the edge. They'll kill off the infested creep. They got the damage up.
Lasso
coming in. Can he get it for the lasso? He can't. Crystalis is out. You got to try for those plays, but sometimes, you know, they move where you don't want them to move, and the next thing you know, they're not on top of you when you're requieming. Up top,
on Ace.
They're going to go straight for him. Ace will be able to turn with the Orchid onto BZM, but the ghosts are out. Ace will melt to the Exorcism at 33, and they're onto the tier 2 tower. Fortification will come out from Gaming.
Well, they should have had that kill on Crystalis, but instead it fails and they get turn killed up top. Big problem.
Yeah, this is 17 minutes in and your tier 2's taking a beating here.
Malady's around, it's going to start slowing them up.
Yeah, Blink's online now for Tofu. That's going to be a big difference maker. If they can get him with the Blink lasso, drag back a target,
that's just
get them in position for the Requiem to go off underneath them. It's a kill most of the time.
Well, they have the Blink now. I mean, Quinn with a bit of a mess up earlier. Did miss a raise and didn't get the perfect Requiem. As Watson, what is he working on? Looks like a Basher first.
It's a good Basher game. I mean,
absolutely.
Again, just all these little kind of things coming together that's enabling their heroes to actually be able to deal with like the Storm in the sort of situations where earlier on, like, lockdown's not there. They're making sure that they've got some answers for BZM.
They've got a lot 1+1 kill combos. You have Lasso, Lasso with Ursa, you're dead. Lasso Requiem, you're probably gone. Or even just random, like some Dawn ult flying through. You've got to be very careful if you're Tundra. Swipeman and his bros do get ravaged up. They are very close by.
Let's have a look.
Tofu is 50.
Watson. He is not afraid to show. Knows how strong he is right now. Crystalis over towards the mid to finish up that Radiance. There it is. So Radiance time is hit. Not as fast as he'd hoped for, but it is there. We'll see if he now starts to rise back up the ranks. Indeed, as we can see there, a little bit slower. A fair bit slower than the average. Malady. BZM Saxon, they've got their hands on him. The lasso will come in though, as well as the Solar Guardian. Malady's going to be fine. Now they turn with the silence, and Watson in on top of BZM. They punish the Storm. They're not going to be able to get the Chen on the way up, as Whitemon's able to TP away, but as we're seeing that they're ready to punish these moves from BZM. It's got to be careful. They will respond.
Perfect staggering of spells.
Straight into the Roche Rider.
Yeah, it's absolutely free. Basher complete on Watson too.
Everything looking up for Gaming so far in this early game. Crystalis.
No lasso, so he should be okay.
Yeah, not going to be able to do anything there. Yeah, he's just on Watson. Having a fantastic game, coming up to 12k net worth at 20 minutes in. Absolutely massive on the Ursa. Levels as well, of course. Level 15 on the Ursa. You look on the other side of the map. Level 12 at the moment for Crystalis. Big difference right now between the carries. And in a matchup, of course, where already the Lifestealer doesn't feel great against the Ursa in these fights.
Yeah, I mean, Watson already feels great, and he's the one with BKB disabled by his side, the Dawn ult to turn it around.
Everything really coming together here for Gaming. Can Tundra sort of slow this down? I mean, what is the plan now for Tundra with this lineup? What are you sort of looking towards? Are you avoiding fights? Are you still going to try and make these moves with BZM, looking to poke at Gaming?
You likely want to keep an open map, but when they can find an opening with like an infest bomb on the backline, like maybe you infest the Storm, you get in,
and there they are, straight in on a 33, a quick jump. The Yules will be there, but he's not getting away from this. Sax is lucky enough to TP out, but the kill potential from Gaming right now is massive. And they're going to be able to claim the Tormentor for themselves.
Oh, this is going to be a huge lead. I mean, Tundra, they have to damage control and get what they can, really. Sure, BZM now has his BKB available. But Gaming, double-digit lead at 20 minutes.
It's not going to be an easy one here for Tundra. Definitely getting challenged quite a bit this time in this game too. A tricky spot to get out of. 11k down, 21 minutes in.
And with the Venom Shard as well, even with the BKB and the Rage, might just have a little stun coming your way.
And what do you want to see next from Tofu? Do you think
Force Staff, I think.
You think the Force, not rather than just going for the straight out Ags?
Nah, he's got the Force, you got the Fluffy Head, you complete it to give yourself more range to initiate, get them out. Even if BZM jumps you, you can maybe save yourself. Looks like Tundra want to strike back. They are down quite a lot.
It's, you know, maybe getting to the point where they just have to try and make risky plays. See if they can get back in.
Active Rune not on this side. Oh, lasso.
There's the lasso. The Avalanche is there in return onto the two of them. They get the silence as well. They're turning and looking to try and punish this, but the bash is coming on BZM. BZM zips away just in time. Quinn will get the Requiem off. Crystalis is trying to take down the SF, but he cannot do so. He's dead. 33's trying to chase down Malady, but he's not going to be able to take this trade here. 33 falls. Malady's fine. It was close to looking like Tundra might have been able to do something there with a silence into the Avalanche, but it just wasn't quite enough. Gaming come out on top again.
And that's about as good as it's gonna get.
Yeah.
You get two people on top of each other. Saxa gets to break the full combo with his Avatars. But you've got the Dawn ult to turn it around. Watson on this bear. He is so strong.
Yeah, he's having quite the game here on the Ursa. The sort of that last minute, you know, last bit coming in with the Ursa, moving Quinn to the mid on the SF. It's looking very good here for Gaming. I mean, yeah, SF. Here, Quinn 6-0-1. I mean, when you sort of see this, it makes you kind of wonder. It's like, they haven't picked this on Quinn for like 11 months.
Yeah, why?
He looked great 11 months. He looking great now, you know. I feel like they could afford to bring out the Quinn SF a little bit more, Kezu.
Yeah, he's swooping, apart from maybe the one little mishap where they could have had one more kill. Perfect. 14k on the net worth, 7-0.
He's having a great time. And against, you know, BZM on one of his greatest, right?
Oh, yeah.
On his Storm. So Quinn is going to, as I said, we might see more SF from Quinn.
Well, you surely should. Hero looks great. Well, BZM, if he wants to strike back in this game, he needs at least 2 rounds of items.
Yeah. It's not easy.
Crystallis as well. It's quite on the farm. Sure, you get the armlet now, but you get lassoed, you're in trouble. There's still an Orchid. You're far away from any Dispel.
And Watson's looking to make a move. There's the lasso. The Rage was off just in time. So the Guardian comes in the throw. Watson up with the Yules. BZM's in with the BKB. They're going to try and take him down the once. They'll get the Aegis out of him. Has still got the Enrage and the BKB ready to press here, so it's going to be hard to go on Watson a second time, and they know. It's going to tentatively push towards the two of them. They'll get the silence on. 33's heading up, but there's a lot of heroes here. And they'll just jump straight back in. Blow up 33. Crystalis is trying to come in with the Rage. Looking for Quinn, but Quinn's able to get the BKB off. And the Requiem pushing the back of the Fear. BZM caught by the bash. He's gone. Saxa's dead. They're ready to dive on for more underneath the tower. Looking for Whitemon. Whitemon will heal up momentarily. They'll set their sights for the bigger kill first. Crystalis, as he's gone. Malady chases down Whitemon. It's going to be a team wipe from Gaming Gladiators. Tundra getting shaken up massively here in this game too, and I don't know if they can recover from this one, Kezu. This is rough.
I'm not sure. That's a 20k lead. They've got everything. You're fully team wiped. This is looking rough.
Yeah.
And I will say every single move, Tofu just keeps starting it out on the Bad Rider. If we're going to a game 3, which I think we are,
it looks like it
will be a first pick.
And at this point, just with the moves that Tundra are making, you can definitely feel they're feeling a bit desperate right now.
This is not natural territory anymore. This Requiem into the Starbreaker. Boom! See ya later.
A very, very strong showing here in this game too after what was a rough game 1. Just everything clicking together perfectly from gaming. Just from the start, the lanes, fantastic. This is always how you know it's in a bit of a rough spot for Tundra. You know, 33 does like to go for these kind of comeback Midases when he's like, at the moment, we're out of luck. We can't do anything. Our best hope is that they throw, the game goes on, this Midas kicks in. You know, this is always kind of like the soft GG when 33 picks up a Midas in this sort of position.
It's kind of funny because there is no good item for you to fight into them. Because if you force a fight into them, you're getting smashed. You're getting absolutely destroyed. So you just have to hope, play out the map.
Exactly. Tundra's just got to hope that Gaming don't end the game in the next 5 or 10 minutes.
Yep. See if you
That's
can
what they're playing for.
Need to force some mistakes out of Gaming, but it's not a mistake.
That's another kill.
Very, very clean. They know 3-3's up here somewhere. Of course, they saw him walk through the observer ward around the Lotus pool.
Nice noses around, but yeah, 33 quick with the TP out. They'll be ready to bring the top lane. Start to look at some of these other tier 2 towers. Bring them both the mid and the top.
Well, Tundra very likely looking to hope to prolong the game, get through their scale. Higher levels on their DP, level 3 ult, maybe this SNY onto Crystallis. I mean, to me, the one that could bring back the game is BZM on the Storm. But yeah, he needs like, what, Shard, Aghanim Scepter? That's at least 5 to 10 minutes away.
Tundra, if they're able to come back from this sort of deficit this early on, that's when, you know, your Gaming are going to be feeling very rough if they let this one slip away from them.
Yeah, this one is...
like, everything is set for them to take this victory. If this somehow drifts away, they're going to be feeling rough.
I will say this is a tough one to let go.
Yeah.
Where they are up a lot. They just picked up a gem on Malady. They know what's up. They've got, so far from what I can tell, perfect items. They have everything they need also to just continue blasting down the map. Closing in on this MKB for the Bear.
Radiant are scanning.
Yeah, they'll probably chill until they've got that online. And Tofu, 3k gold on the bat. I imagine now what he'll treat himself to the Ags, or is there other stuff that he could still be considering for the team?
Ags, BKB.
BKB is still nice.
I could see the BKB just to make like your initiation like kind of clean.
Oh, he's thinking of the Lincolns.
He's got a Lincoln's queued.
What's the plan? Like, what's he worried about with the Lincolns?
He doesn't want to get Yuled by...
Sure wants to be able to... Yeah, but...
Want to not get solo picked off, maybe, by the Storm.
Fair.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
We'll see. I feel like that out of the options he has, it's the one I like the least. Granted, you are up 24,000 gold.
They're probably, yeah.
You don't have to do
you
everything
can just buy what you want, really, yeah. I think Tofu is chilling. He's had some excellent lassos, so
absolutely.
He can get what he wants at this point.
Treat yourself. Why not? Roshan.
Oh.
Aksa for now scouting. Good.
He's out with a TP. Oh, is he the solo guy? It's there just in time. He is not out with a TP at all. They got him.
Cruising through the sky. Canceling that TP. BZM. Gonna get pushed back here.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
It's just very little space to work with for Tundra.
Yeah, it really looks like Gaming as well. They're sort of chilling themselves. Maybe just going to wait for that next Roche. Happy to just farm at the map.
Yep, they've got the Plague Wards in the pit. They'll know exactly when it spawns.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Shivas as well on Ace. Very good against this Tundra lineup.
Yeah, had a rough game 1, but here in game 2 on his Dawn looks fantastic. I think what do we have on the stats? He played it once other time this tournament, also got the win.
Doesn't work out quite so well for other teams and other players.
No, but on Ace, it's good.
Gaming have always looked incredible on these type of heroes and drafts. Looking for Tofu.
It's a big zip.
And it's a big kill also. Let's chuck the lasso for good measure. 1,000 gold into Tundra's pocket.
Yeah, they'll take whatever they can get here, Tundra. Those little kills can add up. They're going to need a lot of those little kills to add up enough to get back in. But it's a start.
Roshan is up, which means that is going to be what Gaimin have their eyes on.
I mean, if you're Tundra, do you sort of say, YOLO, we're going to try and fight this Roche?
I don't see them fighting it, but
BZM goes for a steal?
I could see them go for like a smoke up, you put some Chen creeps in, maybe they get vision, you go for a zip steal. He's got the BKB to like try and get out after. So yeah, it's more like a crazy little steal while the rest keep farming.
Quinn. Oh.
Oh.
Well, 33 did not expect that. Didn't he walk through the creep wave? Maybe he just accepted his fate. Right, he walked through the... 33 saw that, right? But he's just dead anyway.
I guess he did see him.
I think he was just like, I guess I'm dead.
Honestly, I didn't quite pay attention. I kept pressing around on all the other heroes.
I mean, really, even if he does see, like, there's no way out of that. He's just like, well, I'm dead.
To be fair, Quinn could have just blinked on top of him with a Dawn ult and DP is dead without him doing anything. That's Linken's and Hex completed.
Big items.
Which means Gaimin, they're going to find a pushed wave and walk it down.
Tundra. They'll scramble for the Tormentor.
It's time for the tiny shard.
Oh! I'll get it for Whitemon.
Lucky for them, it is not a tiny shard.
Okay.
Means you get some ancient creeps. Maybe help yourself.
Or Watson might see if he gets a cheeky kill if anyone's hanging around still up here.
He's close.
Sax should be fine though. He's away.
Well, let's see how long Tundra can keep Gaimin away from their base. Oh, Saxa, goodbye.
Easy kill with the Hex.
BZM's gonna sneak out the mid lane.
He might be dead.
Oh.
They got the lasso into the combo, in the burst. Not enough though. He's able to get the BKB off.
Oh, they couldn't decide if they wanted to keep him in the Starbreaker or drag him towards the Hex. Then, sadly for them, neither happened, but they still push back BZM from the map.
Oh, Tofu's still going for it though. BZM. Very low on the mana now.
Yeah, nice force. Oh,
33's going to try and help out. In with the silence onto the two of them, they'll turn over towards Tofu. But he's tanking. Quinn's in ready war, but the Yules is there. Cancelled to Requiem for now. Christus wants the kill, will get it. The Hex is there now on towards him. Requiem coming out with the BKB's up for 33. He's able to stand his ground on top of Quinn, but does he have enough damage to kill this SF? He does not. Quinn's getting away. He'll survive. 33 to go down. BZM, he wants the kill desperately. He's not going to get it. Quinn's already out with the blink. The silence is back up. BZM will die for this as well, as all three cores of Tundra go down.
Well, it didn't look super clean, but 3 for 1 exchange. I feel like BZM would prefer to go into game 3 at this point.
Yeah.
He did try for the big one. I don't blame him.
Yeah, absolutely. You had to go for that zip there. Maybe you find Quinn. If you kill him right now, you're probably getting a lot of money.
Oh, you're getting a juicy amount of gold. Oh, regen rune for Quinn. Hex. Take the regen.
Oh no.
Dodged it. Yeah.
Easy dodge.
And he's fine.
Where's BZM? Oh, he's dead still. Never mind.
Buyback?
I'm just ready to see about buyback storm zip. Try and get the big kill.
They've got the banner and a 30k lead.
Yep. There's the push.
Don't think they need much more.
This was a rough one for Tundra. Where do you think it all went wrong? Like, what was the reason why this game was so over?
I guess the lanes fell so hard, but then in hindsight, most lanes shouldn't go that good for them.
Yeah, Gaimin absolutely crushing them here in this game too.
Tundra didn't really have an entry point into the game. None of the runes really worked out for them. Gaimin just had their number.
Really nice stuff from Gaimin in the second game, which... Oh, BZM! Not gonna work.
What happened?
He just zipped in.
All right.
Got like Abyssal Hexed everything. And I think, as you said, they're looking to game 3 now, Kezu. It's a toss back.
Into...
Oh, not 33. He's going to get caught by the Solar Guardian. Watson and Ace, they're just full HP. No damage has been dealt to them. And then back on with the push.
Should be a secondary set of racks.
Tundra, he can't push them off.
Uh-oh. Tofu is looking.
He is. He's got the Ether Lens as well, ready with that extra reach to be able to grab someone.
Maybe he's got the Lincolns because he knows 3-3's buying Lotus, so even when he lassos a Lotus, he can still move. Because
That's actually probably the big brain reason.
That's the,
I like that, yeah, the Lotus counter.
super move. Oh,
so we're going to get another replay. This was the death of BZM. Goes in.
And dies.
Yeah, it's, you know. He's probably like, guys, can we just call GG goes to the next game? You know, he's just trying to hurry this one up. BZM.
Someone's telling him how they can win. He's like,
he's like, guys, he's like, no, go next game. I am done here. And indeed, a rare loss for BZM on the Storm.
He
won
incredible.
every game up until now.
Yeah, he looks incredible on this hero always.
Yeah, so I can imagine maybe feeling a bit frustrated in this game. It's got to be a frustrating one to play out if you're Tundra. As it really feels like there's nothing you can do. You're down 37k net worth here. Gaming Gladiators very much enjoying the position they're in here.
I mean, I will say, this Bad Rider in both Game 1 and Game 2 has looked phenomenal. Wouldn't be surprised if Game 3...
Oh, that's a Chen.
Yep, that's a bye-bye.
Let's have a look. How much more do Tundra want to endure here in this game too? I don't know.
They want Quinn. I don't know if they'll get him.
And Quinn might get them.
He might.
Yeah.
He's got the Blink Hex Requiem.
Oh,
Saxa.
We read the blink wrong there, Quinn. Didn't quite get the same angle as Saxa. Saxa going for the Lotuses though. That will probably cost him his life.
Yeah, but he's got the Lotuses.
Yep, they got him. It's time to start building that block of cheese.
They do kind of need a cheese for that.
And probably some more Lotuses.
Yeah. BZM looking for his own Lincoln Stinkins.
A lot of money on Crystallis.
What he gonna buy?
Do you just buy the Rapier? Just as a stain?
It's
like just, I can afford this. You may have beat me, but I can afford a Rapier.
It's so bad on this hero.
Yeah,
I mean, I guess it doesn't matter. Sure. Buy it.
Oh, here comes Watson. Does he want to jump this? He certainly does. Straight in he goes.
He died.
He's out for 85. Wait, what? Oh, he bought up just before he died. I was going to say he just had 5k gold. How does he not have buyback gold? He bought the AC.
Yep, it's here now. BZM is looking.
He's pushing in with the BKB. But now he's got to push back.
They're very tanky. And Refresher is available.
And Watson straight back in with the bash. There's the refresh BKB from Quinn. Make sure that there's no chance of them jumping on him. He's in with the Requiems. They've had enough now. They've finally had enough here as they tap out. Gaming Gladiators, 43,000 gold ahead here. 38 minutes in. We'll take game 2. We're going to a game 3, Kezu.
Gaming just kind of cruising through this one.
They did.
No, not a single death on Watson or Quinn.
Damn.
Good draft, nice stuff. They swapped Quinn on the SF on the mid. I didn't expect it. Bad Rider looking great.
Yeah.
Gaming, strike back.
Absolutely. I think people are going to expect that sort of switch up more in the future. Yeah, 13-0-10 on this SF. And as we said, Quinn, as far as we can see on the data, he's not played this in 11 months in the pro games. They might just be bringing it out more. Or maybe they only bring it out when it's truly needed. Either way, when they bring it out, it looks fantastic. Gaming Gladiators stomped game 2. It's 1-1 now between Gaming and Tundra.
All right, I've been on the Lacoste shift for a little while, so I've got a terrible pun for you. It wasn't the game coordinator that was found in the time off. It was the gaming coordinator. Ah!
Get me out.
No reaction from 2. Completely nonplussed.
I've learnt the best way to deal with Lacoste is to not react, because then it's on him to then recover from his own puns and actions. So you now must suffer the same consequences. But it was good. I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you.
Thank you. His stand for themselves. I'm here struggling. But Gaming aren't struggling anymore. After that game 1, they have recovered quite well and have made Tundra look more like the group stage Tundra that we saw for the past 4 days.
You know what I like about this game is the fact that when we finish the draft, it's one of those ones where it's like Gaming have to win their lanes to create a snowball, or it's like difficult late game comeback style. And often when you talk about teams, they don't crush the lanes. It becomes this awkward back and forth, and then they are relying on, they don't have many stuns, they need items, and it becomes like an epically long game, right? But for this time, Gaming, they were true to their words. They crushed their lanes. It doesn't matter if you only have, 1.5 stuns. Just break your opponent, and it was really refreshing to watch.
3 lanes, 3 wins. and you rolled with that. Like when you look at these 3 cores, all 3 on top, I feel like it never changed through the game. Maybe at some point one hero managed to break top 3 from Tundra, but I think they never did.
It was usually 3 red bars at the top every time.
Yeah, even though obviously that Prophet bought a Midas.
Obviously.
It didn't really
Obviously, Lizard.
That aside,
it didn't work out for her. It was a recovery game. And for Tundra, I feel like this draft cannot play recovery. The potential from gaming, if they get good lanes, is too high, and this was a perfectly set up trap. They didn't take only the game coordinator time, they prepped this 100% yesterday, obviously, once again, with the Venomancer to deal with the DP. Like this Veno SF was already a good pick, and then Ursa just sealed the deal.
and you can see the discomfort on 33 from that highlight there. Like, it didn't really feel like he ever entered the game. It was a Death Prophet as much as we say his Midas. A couple clips that you've seen in this highlight package, it's him getting kited from Venomancer slows, it's him getting burst by a Shadow Fiend and a Batrider jump, or him even walking up high ground by himself after they'd taken Ursa Aegis, and he's like, you know what? This is my time. He walks up, he dies again. So for 33 from a first pick, 0, 6, and 4, it's not often a scoreline that you see from 33, and he just had no game. Chrysalis had no game. Saxa, no game. They were just fully shut down.
It's still, on paper, the most broken hero, in my opinion. DP and Nature's Prophet, perhaps, as well, whatever, in the current patch. But they found the right solutions to it. Absolutely. This hero right here has always been it. They didn't discover anything new. But I really like the Venotech. Like, Venomancer gave it just that extra bit of oomph that they needed.
I mean, Quinn was trying to tell us the entire time. Look at him. He's literally doing the SF Requiem. We just didn't know it.
He's mid-cast animation.
He's mid-cast animation. We weren't on the same wavelength as Quinn. We could have made it, but of course we did some deep diving during the cast. They're talking about Quinn and Shadow Fiend, and I had a little look, and he just hasn't really played Shadow Fiend at all. Right? In 2020, he played a single game. 2021, he played 1 win, 1 loss. 2021, he didn't play it at all. 2022, he lost 2 games. But this is where it matters. 2023, a single game, a single win. 2024, a single game, a single win. And now, with this single game...
Oh, this is the win?
This is the single win. So we might not see Quinn return to Shadow Fiend, but in the last 3 years, he's played 1 game per year, claims 1 single victory, and then he puts the hero to bed. So maybe we don't get to see the Quinn Shadow Fiend anymore, based on the stats.
He cashed it out here in a game
when it matters.
Well, he needs to win the series for it to really matter.
When it matters. The pre-coordinator vibes, don't forget, they were sad.
True.
They clearly whispered the words, Quinn, it's time. We need the Shadow Fiend.
I got fun. You only get 1, though.
1 per year.
Realistically, it's a very important game for them because it breaks the momentum of Tundra that they've had not only in this tournament versus Gaming, but in general against Gaming. They've been winning in all their series that we mentioned before. So breaking that momentum, breaking that curse, and winning with an SF, it might be the way. From this point onwards, things might be looking up for them.
Do you consider the Death Prophet to be broken now? Because if they don't have to ban that, we've seen this be perma-banned first phase.
I think the hero is broken, but they broke DP as well. They
At least
found a
Tundra's
way.
DP.
Yeah.
I would argue it's not about DP's being broken, we understand it, whatever. It's just the way that they're drafting. It's Axe first pick, they leave it into the core roll, then it gets hard countered. Death Prophet gets first picked, they continue drafting down this line, and then Gaming get the Veno to deal with it, plus a Shadow Fiend to deal with it, and a Dawnbreaker. Like, both games have been, they're picking the offlaner, and then the other team just hard countering it and not allowing it to enter the game. So I'm looking at game 3. Maybe Ace and 33 will ask their team politely, hey guys, can we just not have our hero first picked? And then we're left alone? Because it's clearly hurting both teams when the offlaner is sacrificed so hard in the draft.
Especially ones that we're not seeing flexed. Death Prophet, we don't see move around in Tundra's hands. And Ace, or at least Axe, we haven't seen be moved around or even played in a Gaiman's hands. Although it does seem like no matter what, Batrider is going to be on the minds of both teams. But we're going to see which of those ideas come to fruition in game number 3.
The new breakthrough and innovative phone with 1xBet app. With 1xBet app, you can register and start betting in just 1 click. intuitive interface, and thousands of sports events every day. User-friendly app, big wins, fast payouts.
The human body was built to move. Not trapped at a desk in one singular posture for 12 hours a day. It's time your chair evolved. This is Secret Lab Titan Evo. Ergonomically engineered for you. Gamers, hybrid workers, artists. Backing your every move.
Welcome to Guess the Highlight, where we're asking pro players and coaches to name the player in these clips. I'm here with Sunbeat from Edge. I'm with Ace from Game & Gladiators. I am here with Shad from OG. Shad, do you watch a lot of Dota when you're not playing?
It depends. Sometimes, like, when we're eliminated, I don't want to watch more because it's just, like, sadness, but, you know.
Fair enough.
I don't pay attention to other scenes that much.
I have been lately, yeah. I mean, yeah.
Okay, well, it's going to be from all of the previous Wallachias, so...
Uh-oh, okay. Let's see.
Drop in confidence, but let's see. Let's throw up the clip and see if you know who this is.
Oh, I think I did watch this game.
That's a good start.
But this was a while ago.
It's a lot of stuff which isn't in Dota anymore now, right?
What was this? What was this?
IO Marcy team? What the heck?
But we're watching the Kunkka. I'm going to ask you who the Kunkka is, but...
The Kunkka?
It's satanic, maybe?
It is not satanic, no.
Because it looks like it's a carry Kunkka, maybe?
No, it's in fact, I can give you the role. It is actually an off-lane Kunkka.
Okay. So it's win range carry, I guess.
Yeah, it's a
while ago then.
Oh yeah, this is an old one.
Oh, this was Nigma against Parry Vision, actually, I remember. I think... Wait, was it?
It was
no,
not.
It wasn't.
No, neither of those teams.
No,
but
I'm thinking of something different.
I like the enthusiasm.
No.
Oh my god, I haven't got the slightest clue.
Well, weirdly, the IO Marcy might lead you to the answer, because even though the Radiant aren't playing the IO Marcy, they are known to play IO Marcy quite a lot as a team, which is a little weird in this clip.
Is it Liquid, maybe?
Yeah?
Oh. Is it Nisha?
It's not Nisha.
It's not
no.
Nisha?
But it is not
Wait,
Nisha.
is it Saberlight?
It is not Saberlight either.
Is it Mikke?
It is not Mikke either.
What? Who was playing Kunkka in this team? There's a stand-in.
It wasn't a stand-in either.
It wasn't? What?
So, it's from
I don't know.
a Western EU team, a team which you know very, very well.
Saberlight.
Close, very, very close.
3-3?
Yes, it is 33 playing on that Kunkka off lane, yeah.
Who was it? Oh, was it Netta?
Yeah, absolutely right.
I see,
It was.
I see.
A mental block. Broken through those chat and we did get there.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't even remember who Liquid's offlane at the time was.
That's interesting though.
Oh man, I don't even remember what I ate yesterday. This is too hard. Okay, I don't know. Ace?
Ace, Liquid Ace?
Yeah, definitely
not quite.
Liquid Ace, no?
Not quite. But you're very much on the right tracks. I mean, why do you think it's Liquid?
I mean, that's... I don't know, maybe that's like Mikke Windrunner or something.
Okay.
It's like...
That's correct. That's correct. We're nearly there.
33, I guess, at the time?
Yeah, absolutely correct. Yeah, well done, Sunbeat. That is indeed 33 playing the Kunkka.
Damn, wow.
I'm shocked at how you managed to get from like seemingly lost in the woods without a way out to suddenly like seeing the light of Liquid. How did you get that?
I have no idea who Dyer is, but I mean, this was when Windrunner was super duper broken, and I think Mikke did enjoy playing this hero.
He sure did.
Yeah, so it had nothing to do with the Kunkka. It was just it's like the carry player that kind of made me guess.
Hey man, the journey doesn't matter as long as you get to the destination, and that's exactly what you did. It is indeed 33 playing the Kunkka against Nouns actually in Wallachia Season 1, so big throwback here. But yeah, well worked out, Sunby.
They try and run away. Can they hit it? Can they kill it? Roche is so low. They're waiting desperately, and they move through. They go through. Wait, Roche is dead. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. The ghost ship comes down. Aegis on the ground. Every damn thing.
33 got it.
He takes it away from them, and now they're going to chase down Corden. Mikke's on top of him. Corden in some trouble, but Mikke is too. Force Staff gets to the far side. They relocate, but now they can pull him back. Corden separated from the rest of his team. They have a nightmare. The boat is out, but do they have enough damage with that black hole to take him down once? But guess what? He's got an Aegis. Nisha has now shown up to the party, and Secret, they're going to get punished hard as they kill them all off again. Puppy going to get X'd and pulled back. Boom, the lone one surviving, and well, he might not be able to get out of there either.
Welcome back, everyone. It's time for game number 3 of the first series of our playoffs. It's Gaming Gladiators taking on Tundra. A Tundra with 33 in it. I actually knew that clip because that was during Season 1, and it was very funny to me because when 33 went through that twin gate all by himself, we were like, dude, we gotta hear the comms for this team fight. It seems like it would have been crazy. So PGL pulled the comms, showed it after the game. He's just dead silent the entire time. Goes to the twin gate, no reaction.
What a Chad move.
Boxy's talking like crazy. Even Nisha's participating in the comms. 33 is just doing his thing on the other side of the twin gate.
I mean, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And of course, when you're in your prime and you know that your moves are good, you just trust the guy, right? And of course, I think for Tundra, they're going to hope 33 can refine some of that confidence because he was trying to make those plays. He was running up the high grounds. He was going into the uncharted territory of some of these games, and it just wasn't working out. So,
yeah. I hope that I will not see a Midas in this man's inventory. Usually, if you do see it, and buying a Midas, that means the game is going badly. Well, for their sake, of course.
Yeah, something's not going according to plan.
But when it comes to these two teams, I feel like the first phase openers have been busted on both sides. For Tundra, of course, the DP got discovered, and the same thing goes for Axe. It's exposed. Both of these openers are not that great. At least they do not seem that great. Now the question is, do you put them in the dumpster and move on, go for something different? Or do you still stick to them, but perhaps bait out the counter and flex them? I don't think that they can flex the DP as easily as maybe an Axe can be flexed.
How much do openings get modified now that Batrider has been bumped up to first phase ban status as well?
They do, quite significantly, but DP is still in the pool.
I mean, that does push through the Brewmaster, right? That's the only hero that gaming are enabling through the phase. And at the moment, Tundra, they don't care about the Death Prophet. They don't care about the Axe. I would say they might care about them because they ban out the Prophet, but either way, it's Death Prophet, Axe, and Brewmaster are all in contention for Tundra if they want to care about these heroes.
This is the interesting stage of the tournament where teams start testing each other out when it comes to these broken picks, quote unquote broken. And then you get like 3 heroes, like T mentioned, that are true. And then you see the true mind games happening. Like, what do you think actually out of those 3, which ones? And it's not very rare that you see exactly this. You're like, okay, we're going to deal with that a little bit later because you will get one of those heroes anyway.
But I prefer this. It's a high value hero for Tundra. Often it's a hero in the second phase for Tundra where they use it nicely to progress their draft. You can see from both game 1 and 2 that it was banned out by gaming. They respect it immensely. So I think just taking it in the first phase, we've already mentioned the volatility of first phase core. Get rid of that, pick up your Tusk. Every offlane is available when you have Tusk in the lane.
It's just such a good Saxa hero. And you just saw the 62% win rate as well on the Tusk. Opens up all sorts of things for your team. If you need the save, it's there. If you need lane abilities, they're all there.
Ooh.
Even the snowball into Shadowfiend isn't that bad, just having it.
They are second pick. So, of course, Shadowfiend will get flexed to the end.
No. Quinn's only allowed one Shadow Fiend game per year.
That's what I mean.
Cannot be flexed.
Is Quinn about to break a multi-year streak of only one Shadow Fiend game per year?
Actually, we don't know that. Maybe the full theory is only one Shadow Fiend win per year.
So he's allowed to play it, but to lose.
Exactly.
Okay.
Before he had those 1 wins, it depends how far you want to go back. He had 2 losses, so maybe we are doing some.
That's Quincy
inverse.
Quinn. Oh,
0, 2, 1, 1, 1, 2, 0.
It's like a little seesaw.
Exactly.
The pendulum swinging back. I am surprised that they opt to go for it. Maybe they think that now they don't have to waste their 1 ban on Death Prophet. They're like, okay, you took out my Dawnbreaker. She wasn't the main reason why we beat your Death Prophet. It was SF. And now I have SF. We're still not going to ban Death Prophet. Do you still want to pick it or not?
Sorry, can we just conclude the Shadowfiend Quinn point one last time real quick? So the last time Quinn won 2 Shadowfiend games in the same year was nearly 6 years ago.
Okay.
In 2019, when he was on Chaos, which is Quincy Crew, basically.
Okay.
So that's even more damning. Do you want him to have more than 2 games of Shadowfiend in the same year, or 6 years since he's won more than 2 games on Shadowfiend in the same year? I don't know. It's
But your question still stands. Like when it comes to DP, I feel like she did get exposed with the SF Vano pick, and you might be less inclined into picking her. But you also have now ways of dealing with the SF, or at least you should have now that you see it as the first pick, first phase for Tundra. So we have seen many different teams find different solutions to the Shadow Fiend. Any hero that gets on top of him easily in the lane is nice. We have seen Mag do quite well yesterday, even though they lost the game in the end. Magnus did, I believe it was Whisper that played it. It was still a pretty good game. I'm not sure how 33 is inclined on playing that hero though.
Gaming just going down the very standard approach dealing with Tusk. When you see the Tusk, Jakiro is like one of the best supports in the game. Ice Path on top of the Snowball. Also, Ice Path on top of whoever you're going on complicates the snowball save just a little bit. You have to be aware of it. Attack speed slows. Nothing too jarring with the
win rate on the hero. Of course, Jakiro did get nerfed, but the win rate is really bad. Not only because of the nerfs. I feel like the win rate is also bad because teams have played against Jakiro for almost like 3 months. Every single game that you found and theory crafted every goddamn solution that exists. So now that he got a bit nerfed and you have those solutions ready and waiting in your arsenal, he doesn't look as great.
Tundra do not want to allow gaming to have this win 3 lanes mentality where they break the entire game. Of course, we keep talking about Shadowfiend having a good time, but that's because he was able to go to any of the side lanes at any minute and it was going to be a kill, right? Now you have Tusk in one lane, Ench in another. It is setting up for a real battle of the laning phase. It should not be as one-sided as game 2.
If this was Tofu on Tundra, he'd probably pick Puck here as a position 4 into the Jakiro. That's something that they did discover in their
group stage games.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, right? Like being able to dodge it and heal up.
You're taking the Abaddon.
So can Gaiman take Death Prophet?
This Abaddon was the solution to Jakiro as well in the last patch, more or less in the laning stage. And Dead Prophet on the other side, I mean, there's a slow from Ench, but it's not like a Venomancer. You don't necessarily enjoy playing against her too much, but it's not that hard. And if it's, let's say, the same carry, like an Ursa being played by a Chrysalis this time around, and you have DP, you're fine, because Ench you can siphon from the creep as well. So once they go on you, it actually, you get that creep to work against the Enchantress.
I don't think they need it, though. I think for gaming to progress their draft, if they are flexing Shadowfiend, getting Ace and Tofu's hero here would be really good. Like picking Centaur and any control 4 would be really nice. It's a lane that can play into Enchantress. It's a lane that doesn't really care too much about the carry matchups, because Centaur is very independent with Vanguard and Blademail. Then if Shadowfiend does go to the carry role, you then have the Aghanim's Cart to enable the right click of Shadowfiend in the late game. You've got the Stampede for positioning, which is very critical against the Tusk. but
Whoa.
okay.
I get the Omni.
Was not expecting an Omni.
I think this might be a carry Omni. I'm just throwing it out there.
Potentially. I mean, Ace likes to play these type of heroes. Watson could play it, but it just feels like they just want to run head on into each other, right?
Just the matchup versus Abaddon, I think you do well in the lane. And yeah, it can be on offlane as well, for sure. You get free BKB if you're SF as well. You have that nice little repel to work with. Let's see.
Are we also committed to Abaddon being in the offlane, or can they flex it to...
Like Tigav said, they could chase each other around, so... Could be offlane, could be safe lane.
I think I'd prefer just C33 playing it. I don't really have many memories of Crystallis playing Abaddon, but I did close my notes, so maybe I'm...
No, he did not. He did not. He played, in this tournament at least, he played a couple of Kunkka games, a Sven game. I absolutely like the Marcy pick. I expected maybe on the other side as well. But, so we're going to have a Marcy position 4 here, right? Most likely.
Dude, whatever.
The pick me up facet?
Pick me up with Omni Knight?
Yeah.
That sounds like good times.
Yep.
Yeah, yeet him in, he just hammers the other guy, just runs away.
This is something that Ari does so damn well in Navi.
Boom might debate that based on the previous series he played.
Listen, Ari's happy at the end of the day.
He died 0 times.
It's not about who he's picking up. It's about the Marcy.
It is true. That is true.
If you win the game.
If you win the game.
You win the game.
Otherwise, you're getting reported.
The methods are irrelevant.
Okay. Tundra, of course, going back for Beastmaster from game 1. I think this is a nice way to deal with the mid Shadow Fiend. Mid Shadow Fiend, you shove wave, you farm up. If Beastmaster also does the same thing, between the two heroes, it's a matter of who gets the jump, right? Both heroes kind of play the same way. Beast gets Ags Blink, and you kill any hero in the game. Shadow Fiend buys Yashakaya Blink, you kill nearly any hero in the game. So it's going to be about the pick-off potential between the potential two mid laners, of course.
I feel like Shadow Fiend is still a flex, of course, but playing SF into Abaddon and Tusk, snowballing on top of you, might be a bit rough. Is there some potential, like we've been talking about Omni Knight as core here, is there some potential for SF Omni lane? No, it's SF Jakiro for sure, right? It has to be.
The draft feels like Shadow Fiend should be the carry in this game because you've got Marcy with the buffs for the lifesteal, the pick-me-up for repositioning, Omni's going to have Repel, Guardian Angel, Jakiro for laning phase.
So probably last pick mid then? Or because they banned out Io, they're afraid of Io Marcy.
Again, everything's still up in the air for gaming, but like the way the draft looks at the moment, it does feel like everything's buffing a core Shadow Fiend. But that's the beauty of the draft at the moment is because they have last pick, everything buff Shadow Fiend can very quickly become a casual Shadow Fiend middle who's playing Magic build, and Omni's offlane and carries last pick, but everything can change. So yeah, gaming's draft it's hard to read, and Tundra needs to identify which version of the draft are they most scared of to then ban for. And at the moment, like Lizard just mentioned, with the IO ban, they're scared of the IO Marcy safe lane, the general pressure. So they think SF mid Omni offlane is the
and
current
it's the
version.
same on the other side, right? Like when you look at gaming and their bans, they ban out the Razor, they ban out the Brewmaster. They're expecting maybe a carry, maybe an offlane. Who cares? Let's just ban out the heroes we think are hardest to play against right now.
No, okay. And I was thinking if this was like Nightfall, I'm trying to think, what would he want to play against an Omni, a Shadow Fiend, Marcy?
I still think...
I feel like he would take the Abaddon carry.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I was like, well, this is kind of a weird... but he also thought about Troll, if we ignore Abaddon being there, but you can dispel Guardian Angel. But yeah. Maybe not. Don't know, there's so much flexibility and creativity in the drafts that both teams just need to be strong with what they pick.
That's slick. Now, I guess they're not 100% sure where the Beastmaster may be going.
I think TA is safe lane, Beast off or mid. Actually, Beast mid and Abaddon offlane most likely. Or you could just TA actually mid as well. You're right.
Everything's up in the air.
It's a curveball.
That's the correct way to go for it, right? If I'm excited at the prospect of gaming's draft, its identity being a right-clicking Shadow Fiend, everything buffing it, to Shadow Fiend Magic and now different tempo, Tundra have to respect that. Like, gaming will utilize this really well.
And it's like, these two cores, what's so interesting about them, like TA and Beast, even though TA is exclusively played as carry, even if you play it to mid, it won't really matter that much. Beast is still going to do the same build from the safe lane.
Yeah.
Just depending on how you want to lane it. So it will be a mid SF with a carry gyro, it seems like.
Ace takes the offlane Omni. It is a carry gyro. 33 takes the offlane Abaddon. BZM will play the mid Beastmaster yet again.
Yep. I mean, BZM on Beastmaster has had some incredible games in the last couple of months, so I get it. Like, you just stick with the comfort zone. TA should not struggle, I believe, in the lane as well. Like, all of these damage instances from Tofu and Ace are burst. It's like one instance that you go with. So Refraction has extra value in the lane as well. You can dispel some stuff with Enchantress too. And if you find the right creep, yeah, that lane should not be too difficult for Chrysalis, I think.
There's no time for analysis now, Tsunami. Simply the story of the game. It has been 6 very long years since Quinn has won 2 Shadow Fiend games in the same calendar year. In those 6 years, Quinn has gone from a boy of North America, playing on teams like Quincy Crew and Chaos Esports Club, to rising to the tops of Gaming Gladiators, winning multiple prestigious events. TI has eluded him. Can he break that 6-year-long dire streak? He is on the dire side. He is playing Shadow Fiend.
Not only that, the streak of Gaming Gladiators failing to beat Tundra throughout the entirety of this season thus far. A lot of streaks can be broken here. It's a momentous occasion.
It is a beautiful moment and a prestigious Game 3.
I'm glad that we're giving it the gravity that it deserves.
Absolutely, guys.
Are you chuckling right now?
Are you laughing at this?
I'm absolutely not. You're on it.
Are you mocking the
North American region
of this situation?
It's, yeah, I can feel the gravity. It's in the air. I'd never mock it, ever.
I'm glad to hear that.
Thank you.
Gentlemen, I would like to take Saul into game number 3. Let's go.
Game 3 time, boys and girls. Tundra versus Gaming Gladiators, indeed. After that game 2, I think, Quinn and probably the team were like, hey, this SF works kind of good on you. Let's just do it again.
Yeah, they just run it back. Of course, they did hold the flex until the very, very end. We'll say we've got 2 very, very fast lineups. A lot of their early games, some of the rotations will do a lot and determine a lot as well. Even just with the TA on Crystallis, it's going to allow Whitemon some more safety around the map and some more freedom to potentially move. Because last game around, they didn't pressure Quinn at all on the SF.
They lost all 3 lanes, basically, right? In terms of how much Gaming Gladiators were getting against Tundra. And you'd imagine, well, this time round, you don't see that happening again here.
No. They decided to first pick the Tusk. I like that. It's always been banned out later on. So you've got aggressive supports. You can make stuff happen. But Gaming also, they close it out with a fast hero in the gyrocopter. You can go through the gate. You can help out your SF. I expect a lot of action.
Now, looking forward to this one. See if we get a bit of a closer game. We've sort of had 2 one-sided affairs. This one, let's see what we get here.
Ace. It's going to get sharded off.
That's going to be some good shards.
Easy
jump. Tofu. Easily able to get Ace back to safety. Meanwhile, BZM taking quite a bit of damage there from the 2 of them. Watson and Quinn ran him down.
Did get triple raised by Quinn, so of course some mana investment. But BZM will have to pay the price for some HP.
We'll see how it goes. Because what you imagine, BZM should be able to hold his own against the SF as the Beastmaster in this matchup.
Yeah, I would say early on they both farm a lot, but later, the more levels you get on Beast, Quinn needs to be very, very careful in this type of matchup. Especially if any support comes cruising over mid for Tundra. So Tofu's going to have to be on the money. Maybe even with some TP over with a rebound, either aggressively or to bail Quinn out of any trouble.
And you like the overall ending of the draft there, from gaming side of things, at least you're getting Watson on the gyro.
I do like Gyro. I mean, I always see Gyro as a kind of maybe a bit of a boring hero, but I think he's very stable and he's very good. You've got Gyro Omni, honestly kind of a classic just hero that goes in, you buff him up, you've got the Marcy too. So just everything that they need, and very good against Tundra's lineup. They want to play fast, well, Gyro is great against that.
Yeah, sure, but you imagine for the most part, if Tundra do start to make moves, Gaming's lineup is a lineup that will turn up and fight back.
Oh, all of them would love to answer, right? If you're an Omni Knight, you can quickly TP in, Purification, maybe throw a Repel on your SF or your Gyro. Same with Watson, so I expect everyone to be everywhere. Maybe apart from Crystallis, he's going to be looking to farm it up on the Templar. It's early laning stage, we don't have too much going on. Once you get the level 2 on the Marcy, Might need to have Whitemon and Chrysalis be a little safe.
Bit of a setup on a Whitemon. There's a lot of burst. They just straight up blow him up here with the damage. And then Chrysalis, is he dead as well?
Yep.
Oh.
Gone.
Well,
he's gone.
Yeah, there we go. Well, that ain't great for Tundra down there. I mean, should that happen? The two of them getting caught out by these heroes?
It can if you're out of position.
Sure.
One of the weaknesses of Ench is that when heroes get on top of you, you're quite weak to them. And this is one of Marcy's absolute strengths.
I've got to watch out for those jumps. With the rebound there from...
The second death is not really okay, but of course, off of the first kill, Tofu gets the level 2. Then they get the dispose on Crystallis as well with a double.
And you can't underestimate how much burst damage this Omni Knight can output in the laning stage. It hurts.
Yeah, it's got double pure damage to work with.
So if they're going to be able to regain themselves in this lane.
See, Tofu gonna be able to secure the Lotus. I mean, certainly not really what you want from this lane as Tundra, because the TA, it was picked to have a good time down here, then free up Whitemon later to move around.
Oh! And they go again, it's good burst! It's gonna be enough, Whitemon.
Bye-bye.
He's going down again. They've got to be more careful down here. This safe lane of Tundra getting really dealt with by this duo of Ace and Tofu on the Omni Marcy.
I mean, it is a big weakness of Ench as a hero, and Whitemon also, it's not like he's built items to try and live through this. He's got a Windlace, but they get on top of you. And he went for the Impetus level 2. There's no heal. So, might have underestimated this power.
Now Crystallis!
Whoa.
They've got to bring some TPs in! I mean, Crystallis will live only just. But this lane from Gaimin, it's scary.
It's doing a lot. And it's kind of been the story of a lot of these games. Whichever offlane dual lane sets the pace has kind of helped their entire team. And looks like Gaimin doing it again here in the third game.
And was sort of the fact that, Saxa did have to TP bottom there because that threat did mean that the mid lane, the water rooms are open, so Quinn's able to refill the bottle without any interruption from supports, just because of how much pressure his teammates are putting in on this bottom lane.
But it's not, Saxa's not happy, or shouldn't be that happy. Let's see if they can get some kills here. I feel like it's not easy.
I was gonna say, do they want to fight this? I mean, whoop, okay, this time the jump's at the mark. Melody's coming in to back up, though. They get the dispose. Lovely dual breath, pretty much onto all three of them with that angle. That's Saxa dead. They just have this bottom area completely under control.
This is troublesome. Yeah. Usually all the TPs you see from position 4s is when they're like, they're sneaky, they outnumber you 3v2, but you have to do it defensively as Saxa, and even then, it's a TA Ench lane. It's not that aggressive.
I guess this is the thing as well, because the lane's set up top, Watson, he doesn't mind being left on his own. It's just against an Abaddon. What's the Abaddon going to do against him 1v1? It's going to look at him.
Yeah, Watson's going to be super big.
He's like, guys, you can go play wherever you want. I'm having a free farm time up top.
Let's see, double support's moving into mid.
Is BZM ready for this? He is.
He does walk it off.
Yeah, he's going to be fine. Saxa comes in with the TP.
Let's see how Tundra will put a stop to this early on in the laning stage. Because they don't have too much fighting back. They do have an Ench creep here.
Whitemon? I mean, Tofu's just able to walk up and grab him with a dispose. Whitemon
is dead.
A lot of early casualties here.
Very rare to see triple death this early on Whitemon, but yeah, Tofu on this Marcy, making it look very, very strong.
Just constantly catching him by surprise.
Yeah, and I also like that Malady kind of well, I guess he kind of gave up on the top lane, but who cares really? He's getting a lot of work done in the mid and bottom lane.
BZM will get the rune. Not the craziest, nothing that's really going to threaten Quint. Just the regen that BZM's able to bowl up.
Wouldn't be surprised later when Watson gets this level 6 if they can keep the siege creep up on the bottom lane to see him move through the gate and absolutely just take it over. But let's see, Crystallis might be able to whip it out.
Melody's coming in with a wraparound top. They might be able to set something up here. Saxa
does have to snowball.
He's going to be fine. 33 ready as well with shields if required. So far, it's not quite as drastic, but it is still like we saw in Game 2. Gaming coming out on top of all 3 lanes so far.
BZM, at least he's working on some stacks. I mean, Beast is it's quite of a slow mid hero, right? You do okay in the lane, but then you need to farm up your stacks, get towards the Aghanim Scepter, slowly build up your game. So it's ever so important for Tundra that they're able to hold this map. Here's the move we talked about earlier. Siege creep is up, the double gate. How do you respond to this as Tundra?
Well, there's the beautiful setup, the ice path. Catching Chrysalis just on the tip there, Malady having the easy setup. Yeah, well, what's the plan here from Tundra? Things are starting to fall apart pretty quickly now, like they did in the last game.
Oh, for now, it's absolutely to farm and just damage control. You've got 0 kills on the deck, and honestly, it's not that easy for them to even score one at this point. Beast kind of wants to farm. Crystal he's suffering the most. 2,500 net worth as a TA.
A last pick TA as well.
Yep. Looking onto the mid. Perfect timing from Tofu. Active rune. Let's see if they get lucky on the 50-50. They do not.
There's the lead in Tofu.
Raise.
It's another death on Whitemon. He is really struggling with this Marcy, you know, making the jump on him every time. They'll get the setup, but there is going to be the Requiem pushing them back. And that's going to give Tofu a bit of space to back away. 33 is going to follow forward here with the borrowed time. The ice path catches onto, and Tofu stands his ground with the disposed. Tofu will die, but he sets up for 33 to be taken out. Saxa's coming in the wrap around. They're surrounding Quinn. Surely they can kill him here. The snowball comes across the two, and then they'll get him. But Watson, there's time for him to swing across with the rocket barrage, get on top of BZM. BZM trying to hide in the trees, but the second rocket barrage will get him. Saxa's going to look for the denied to Roshan. Will be able to find it. So Saxa able to knock himself out there. It's scrappy. They get something here, Tundra. Still, ultimately, though, Watson gets a bit of a cleanup.
He does get the cleanup, but he already had a great game, whereas Tundra, they really needed this. When you're down this much, this early on, this XP injection into your heroes, and also this breathing room for Crystallis. Got to push the entire bottom lane out and just chill. Yeah, very, very needed. As Saxa swings around with the Amplify.
I'll keep Watson on the bottom side of the map for now. It's feeling pretty safe down there. We'll see it again on the replay. At the start, quick grab here to get Whitemon. But indeed, 33, he was not having any of this. He's like, right, we got to do something about it. I'm getting involved. I'm TPing over, and I'm chasing down the two of them.
That's quick reaction, but you absolutely have to make them pay. You can't just let Gaming get away with everything. And it's important that they do all man up here.
Yeah.
TM as well.
Saxa coming again in from that angle, blocking off any chance of escape from Quinn. They needed these kills badly. Does manage to take away some of the lead the Gaming Gladiators had against them. Not quite all of it, though.
See, win the live game again. We've got a smoke on BZM and Saxa, so they would like to open up the map at least a little bit.
With the three of them, they might be able to stand a chance of getting Ace.
I mean, especially with Ace already being here, it's not like he will TP in and then save the guy. If he's the first touch, this is great for Tundra.
With the setup with the Raw, TPs are coming in. Ace, can he save himself? The heals are coming in, he's fine. They didn't have enough to get him, and now Tundra's got to run. They will get out with everyone alive by the looks of it, so at least forcing out a lot of TPs there, of course, from Gaming. But yeah, even with the three of them, not quite enough to even get that close to being able to bring down this Omni Knight.
I think Saxa's Snowball didn't quite connect. I mean, they needed perfect layering of stuns.
Saxa, he's still going to actually end up going down.
We'll make them work for it. Well, he did force everyone up top, so also we have to pay attention to the map. Crystallis, once again, entirety of the bottom lane.
He's slowly climbing back into the game.
Yep. I mean, this is much needed space for him. This is not usual for a TA. Bottom of the network for this hero is absolutely not normal and not where you want to be.
He had a very difficult lane, as we saw against that Marcy Omni from Tofu and Ace.
Oh, there's a Midas on 33.
All right. We'll see if he goes the whole way. We have seen earlier in this tournament him go for the full Midas into Octarine rush. To really benefit from the cooldowns. You don't like that?
I really did not like it. I would not like to see it here. Because I think what you need to do is... Oh. Crystal is probably dead.
Zaxa, he might be in trouble as well. He's got to run.
Because Gaiman are going to bring the fight to you, and you better fight back. So sure, you can get a minus, help yourself with a bit of the levels. But I would like more items after.
Oh yeah, he's queuing up that Octarine.
Well, don't listen to me then.
It did, because it didn't work that. They lost that game, right?
They had a lot of net worth, but it just didn't honestly do all that much. I mean, yeah, you get all the lower cooldowns, so maybe that's your way of
cool
like, helping.
Honestly, I think this was the first build I did when I saw this facet when it got added. It's like, imagine the cooldowns. Midas Octarine, it's the dream for us Midas enjoyers out there.
Well, it is a good game for
less so for our teammates, but
yep. Let's see and figure it out if it's good. As Gaiman finally do get to reach a tower. I mean, with all the chaos also that Tundra created earlier, of course, it did keep Gaiman away from their side of the map. Tundra starting to fortify their jungle, or at least trying to, because you have to hold on to and try to defend your mid-tier 1. If you give up jungle control here as Tundra, your mid tower is instantly gone.
Now, 33's got to be a bit careful, top. It's very low. And Borrowed Time is on cooldown.
Guess they were able to force it out of him. Success TPing up top.
I mean, they can't go on ace like this. They need so much to take this Omni Knight down.
I mean, last time they didn't have punch, but yeah, you need...
Even with that, it's...
Saxa and 2 chords.
And it has to be perfect then, sort of the layering of the stuns. It's a very difficult kill.
Well, at least you do have Tundra who are slowing down the game. You have Whitemon pulling some creeps away from mid.
Sure.
BZM continuously farming the triangle. Whitemon, I'm telling you, I said this. Yeah. This guy loves to go for the steal. This is literally the Whitemon.
I don't think he's getting it this time.
Not this time.
No, Tofu's onto him.
Of course, there's no rebound target.
Yep. Whitemon's going to try with the Jukes.
Not quite.
He's looking pretty dead.
Yeah.
It's a tough game. Tough game.
Pew, 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 pew. Which means Tofu will just be able to, of course, get the Wisdom Shrine.
Oh, that is, I tell you what, that was very nice of 33.
What did he do?
He's got a Midas, there's an Arcane Rune, and he lets his mid still have it. You know, wow.
That's real
If
nice.
I had a Midas,
you're picking that up.
I've got the Midas, I take the Arcane, that's how it goes. Oh no, 33, a true team player. Keeps it safe for BZM to grab in the bottle.
I mean, the one for them that's going to push it forward is BZM. You need to let him get towards his Ags as soon as possible. Maybe even Ags, Blink, and like look for the Roche, because, I mean, Gaiman have a pretty damn good lead still with 4K. I mean, they're eyeing Ace, but...
Yeah, they'll get a few hits on the tower, but yeah, they ain't killing the Omni Knight, and they know it. They just poke at the tower, try to get out, I guess at the least. Just trying to force reactions from Gaiman, and they'll get that.
Sucks even gets out. Of course, he's got the Cobalt Cup, like a little mini drums for himself on the neutrals. Helps him get out of harm's way.
Yeah, just full out on the farm, really, for Tundra. So it's going to be the plan for the recovery. Chrysalis needs his space. He's getting it. 33, obviously, with his Midas Octarine build. It's going to take some time.
Yeah, but he's kind of chilling. Having a good time.
And Ace. They're looking at him. But that's a lot of damage coming down on the BZM.
Repel, Ace, Guardian Angel.
He's going to be able to get the ult off. How's the Roar? They should get him this time. They will. Ace can't survive through that. Maybe feeling a bit stronger than he was there, stepping up to the high ground. He does not get away with that one. They finally can kill this Omni Knight.
Yeah, I mean, once his spells are down, they deal so much damage. They have drums, they have the Abaddon passive max impetus. So sure, Whitemon may have had a rough laning stage, but he's got the levels, he's got some of the items. He, again, starting to deal a lot of damage on this Ench. So Tundra putting themselves back on the spot.
Yeah, they're slowly catching up in farm. Quinn's going to be very close to the blink. Once that's there, he'll definitely be looking to try and get involved in the action.
I mean, that's an Aghanim Scepter completed on BZM. If Gaiman start losing control of this top half of the map, Tundra could look to force Roche on them. You've got the Ench creep, you've got Shield, Tag Team, Mass TP's onto bottom.
Look at the Roar. It's going to be another one. Some good setups here from BZM now.
Looks like they tried for a play onto Crystallis even with the Requiem. But counterplay was too quick here from Tundra.
Even with sort of the tough situation from the lanes, similar to last game. No doubt about it, this game's going to be a whole lot closer. Tundra stabilizing in a way that they were unable to in Game 2. That gap very much closing, if not almost gone.
Well, at least the way that Gaimin need to play the mid game is very, very different from the last game.
Yes.
Like last game, you had Ursa, he had an early blink, he got to go all the way in there. Same with a Bad Rider. You don't have that this time. Tofu finds a small catch.
And he's buying time for Quinn to head over. 33's got the borrowed time. Quinn is going to be able to wait it out. And can they get 33 out of it? They might just be able to. 33 gets away. No, Tofu in with another rebound. 33, though, he gets the shield off. Kills Tofu. And he's out of there. Out. Bounces away. They couldn't quite get him.
He's quite tanky. He's got the level 10 talent with the HP region on the shield. He picked up the shard as well on the Abaddon. Tumbler's toy to get out.
And he's going to make good timing on this Octarine. So we are going to see this Abaddon just pumping out the gold.
And he put himself on the top of the net worth. I think some of the crappy stuff that's been happening over the last 5 minutes is really not favoring Gaimin at all.
No, I think Tundra are feeling pretty comfortable, I think, at this point.
Radiant are scanning.
Things are slowed down, and you know, Gaimin, as you said last game, we saw what they were able to do with the sort of style when they're ahead. If the game starts to slow down, things are definitely going to get a bit trickier for Gaimin.
They need to kind of find a way to change the state of the map, because what Tundra are doing, they have Eng creeps, they have traps on the map, you have Abba who's hard to kill, and Beast summons. And Gaimin don't have the best deep push or map kill at the moment.
Quinn. So he's going to find, they're all out. Saxa's away. BZM's perfectly fine, very close to having the blink for himself. Malady maybe see if we can get an angle to cut him off with the ice path. Gets him on the edge. Quinn's still trying for this, but yeah, they're not going to have any other catch. He is away, and next time he's going to be even more slippery with that blink dagger done on the Beastmaster. Blink as well now, picked up here for 33. Opting to grab that before he does commit to finish the full Octarine. So very much valuing that chance to be able to blink out during the borrowed time if they go on him.
You can really tell if you look at the neutral items and just the item pickup from Tundra. They understand that Gaimin, they have weak catch. You go 2 Tumbler toys already on your guys, and you're rushing, what, 4 Blink Daggers? They're just looking to outplay Gaimin on the map, at least for now, until they get to a bigger item stage.
Yeah, these Blinks are going to feel super good.
Let's see, they want to rush this Roche on Gaimin. They do have 30 seconds.
They'll probably get this. I mean, well, okay, Smoke's coming in. How good is Tundra's fight going to be? Because they're not bringing Chrysalis in for this one. This might be a bit tricky for Tundra.
Let's see, they want to delay this. It's a lot about what you see, but yeah.
Like, can they really get an angle to get in? No. No. Aegis has already gone. They will catch Tofu outside of the pit, so they'll get something from that setup. But Aegis into the hands of Watson, and they might just try and see if they can catch someone straight away themselves with the smoke.
I mean, both teams doing really well at this point. You have Crystallis and Whitemouse creep down bottom still pushing, whereas Gaimin are pushing forward towards the Tormentor.
We've got eyes on 33, but he's a tough one to catch with the blink and the borrowed time. Quinn's going to try and start something. A raise here, raise there.
Well, that's nothing more to be done.
No.
Tundra just continuing to stay on the map. Gaimin want this Tormentor. Saxa, can he steal with level 1 shards?
That would have been hype, but he's not going to go for it.
2k lead. Gaimin still in a great position.
Yep, they managed to continue to hold on to the tier 1 tower in the mid lane. Ace has got the blink himself. Same to be said for Saxa. He's able to blink out before the Radiance tick connects. Now, does she turn in with the punch? Drop the Macropire down, but can't keep them held into it. 33's going to start chasing Malady down, forces Malady to TP up. Snowball, it's there to put a stop to it. Ace trying to bail Malady out of this. Here with the ultimate as well, but Malady will be going down. Tundra get the kill. Can they go for anything more? BZM's going to continue the chase on towards Ace. There's the Roar. Quinn, he's got the Requiem going. 33's in though with the borrowed time. Heals back up to full HP, but BZM is dead. He used to blink out to the side. Watson swings in, able to take out Saxa, and Quinn with a raise or 2 takes out Whitemon at the end of it all. Tundra maybe getting a bit too ahead of themselves there. They tried to chase up to the high ground. Gaimin, they were ready to turn.
Yeah, definitely overplay, because you cannot underestimate that Requiem was incredibly strong. While all of this was going on, by the way, Crystallis got a solo kill onto Tofu and stole the Wisdom Shrine on Gaimin's side of the map. starts closing in on a Desolator, I believe that is when they will look to include him. Will start to deal serious damage.
Question is how much more Gaming are going to look to try and do with the Aegis. Still 2.5 minutes or so on it. Lines being drawn here on both of the side lanes by BZM. 33, borrowed time's on cooldown. Blink out's there. See over towards the mid. Quinn's going to have an arcane rune for the next fight. No Requiem though. Still 40 seconds cooldown. Don't get the jump on a BZM though. Shows himself in the mid. He gets caught by surprise. He's dead. They're going to get the jump forward here with the Tumble as well onto Saxa. He has to snowball. He's going to get the blink out, but Quinn ready to follow his own blink. Doesn't quite manage to stay on top of him though. He's still trying with the Tumble Destroyer. In fact, Ace, they just got so many blinks themselves. Ace able to close in, sets up a Tofu to get on top of them. They get the 2 kills, and they get the pressure on down on the bottom lane game, and they're going to get this tier 2 tower. Very much showing that they're still, at the moment, in charge of this one.
It's a heads-up move from Gaiman. You show your Aegis hero on bottom, Thunder will just expect you to run down that lane. It's important that they keep control of the mid lane, as they do. Pick up 2 kills for themselves.
Uh-oh, White Mop. Straight away TP. Oh! That's a courier snipe and a half there. Ace just knocked out the full Deso that Crystalus was trying to get delivered to him up in that top lane. That's the Desolator gone for 2.5 minutes, Kezu. That hurts.
No, that's absolutely a big one. Because on this Aegis Expire with the Deso, that's something you could have used to like try and fight back. But yeah, Tundra, I mean, they're doing good, but they're still suffering. Gaiman getting everything that they want. I mean, it's not like anything is stopping Watson on the map at the moment. 303 top net worth.
Yeah, he's going to have that BKB to cover him once the Aegis expires with this sort of timing.
And BZM is suffering. Without a BKB in his next fights.
Yeah, he just dies. Yeah. They could just fully commit onto the Beastmaster. So yeah, he's almost certainly just going to look to try and avoid action until that BKB is online for him. Ultramarine is out now for 33.
Yep. He definitely does have a lot of spells to deal with, but it's gonna be a fat gyro buffed up by, you've got a Marcy and an Omni behind him. I don't know if they care too much. I feel like they'll be able to punch all the way through that. Tofu and Ace setting up the bottom.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Tundra, they were able to slow down Gaming Gladiators a little bit earlier. Can they do so again? Because Gaming really starting to get that lead built once more. And a lot of it is definitely going to rely on just sort of how much we see from 33 on the Abaddon with this build, as you say. Because we have seen it before. And you can just die, right? I guess that's sort of the thing, right? Sure, you've got these lower cooldowns on your shields and stuff, but if you are the one that gets gone on, they can control you through the borrowed time. You still die very easily on this Abaddon with this build.
And it's also like the Gyro and the SF. They should have enough damage, at least later on, of course, to kind of pop through some of those. So we'll see where 3-3 takes this next. I believe he did have a Blade Mail queued up.
Yeah. Actually, yeah, did he buy it or did he unqueue it? Is he looking at something else now?
I don't think he got it just yet.
No, yeah, he took it out of the queue, so I guess you're sort of considering where to go. I mean, yeah, where do you think he needs to go next? What do you think is sort of being considered here next in this build?
I wouldn't necessarily mind the Blade Mail from his side, but I can also see like some bigger stuff like in AC just to buff up his team.
True.
Keep yourselves like more alive.
What about just going for like a straight up Hex? Or is it a bit too big of a dream, too early?
I feel like they don't have enough damage to facilitate a Hex, to be honest. Whereas at least AC is like a nice hybrid.
Yeah, nearly a full Shivas on Ace.
Yeah, and that hurts. Like, against all the heals, everything you got going. Attack speed slow as well, TA. Even the Eng.
Oh, look at that's a nice one for Quinn. Let's see if he finds anyone up here.
I think Gaiman, 2 things I would like them to do soon if they want to keep shutting down the map is to, 1, pick up a gem, especially against the TA traps, and to play side lane wards.
Oh, Quinn's going to have eyes on 33. Can 33 get out of this? He is going to have the borrowed time, the blink and a TP, but obviously the threat of the Requiem will be there. He's going to go for a good blink down to the side. That will do it. Same time, another TP success out here.
Both teams trying to earn some ground and space on the map. BKB is complete.
Now BZM's ready to turn up and get involved in the fight, so that's not a bad jump at all. Straight in with the raw onto Ace. Beautiful stuff there for BZM, an easy catch. No hesitation as soon as he sees Ace walking out like that.
On a quick move over here too.
See what they can do, Watson. He's got Quinn moving over to help out. Of course, does have the BKB if he feels threatened. They get the punch out, Quinn. He's here at the side. The BKB comes out from Watson. They're going to continue to try and chase forward. They've got the shards. He's just going to go for the BKB TP. This is not a position that Gaimin want to fight in. They want to make sure that they've got Ace back up and with them. And Quinn, of course, wants to get the Ags done. He's about 1,200 gold off it. So they managed to disengage.
Those are still big wins for Tundra, and it's something Gaimin have to be careful about. Tundra still abusing the fact that they're more mobile on the map. They've got more ghost push, they've got more mobility. Beautiful lane ward bottom that allowed him to kill Ace initially.
Smoke time from Tundra. Got eyes on Malady. We're going to try and make the jump, but Tofu's ready to take him back to safety. Full Daedalus on Watson. Now, if Gaimin can set up the full team fight, it's not going to be easy for Tundra to deal with unless sort of BZM gets in, gets this roar, and they blow up one of the key targets first. But definitely difficult unless they're getting the jump on Ace. You know, if Ace is able to sit back, get those initial saves off on whoever gets jumped, the fight's going to get pretty messy for Tundra.
Yeah, the Repel Guardian Angel will definitely put a stop to Tundra's play. So they really have to be cautious of how they start the fight.
Because this is the thing, right? When you look at Tundra's lineup, the only one really that can sort of stop Ace getting his stuff off is the Beastmaster with the Roar. Outside of kind of like a punch and a snowball, it's not easy to stop Ace from getting to play these fights freely.
The Tundra are going to play more, I think, off of Chaos and Vision. Like, you've got the traps, you've got Eng Body, Eng Creeps, Beast Creeps to, like, show you some stuff. And, like, try to keep poking until they can ultimately go for, like, a clutch play.
Sure.
Malady, yeah. Queuing up the Ags, wants some more damage, pure damage as well, against the Tundra draft.
BZM just trying to get away with some extra pressure on the bottom lane. Gaimin very much hovering around the mid, this Roshan area, waiting for the respawn. As we can see at least, though, it is going to come as Roshan will head down towards the bottom. Tundra desperately just trying to get as much as they can from the map whilst they're getting this breathing room.
Do have a gem now in Malady to sweep through the map at least a little bit. Well, Roshan will move to the bottom side. Crystallis has been setting up a few traps around the bottom river. Yep, working on a Shiva's on 33. Even bought himself a Soul Ring for some of the upcoming fights to stay topped up in mana.
Tundra. Do they want to try and prepare for this smoke or avoid it? Looks like they want to try and meet it head on. They're coming up with the smoke themselves. Let's see if Tundra's ready to take a team fight head on against Gaimin.
You have buybacks available, and you have a lot of annoying...
They are going to block Watson in for now, but it's still difficult to commit on him with the backup he has. They're trying, they're bursting pretty low. He takes a lot of damage there. Saxes him with a punch-up. They'll try and take him out to the side. Quinn prompt the Redquin to push them back. Watson, he's in trouble. He's caught by the stone. The heals come in. They're trying to keep Watson alive, but BZM finishes him off, and now is ready to turn over towards Tofu. Tofu, can he escape? He cannot. BZM gets the double.
Real bad news for Gaimin.
Excellent start to that fight from Tundra. I mean, just the hits coming in from Crystallis kind of just caught Watson by surprise. He's like, my goodness, I've just lost 80% of my HP.
You're just poking it, and this is the worst timing. Like, people still underestimate when Roshan roars your ass, you take 25% more damage. He was not, look at it. It's literally, it happens all right after he roars right here.
With that debuff coming in.
Look at these hits. Pops BKB on 400 health.
And it's a good call from Saxa. Jumping in with that punch, making sure there isn't a chance to get away. BZM in with the roar as well, on towards Watson. They know that they can get that kill, and once the gyro's gone, the fight's sort of over. And Quinn, he's lucky to get out alive. You see that at the top. He got caught so low after that Requiem went off from him when they surrounded him. He only just gets away.
Ooh, I mean, this is not good. Gaimin are not allowed to just, you know, just give Tundra a situation where they can poke them, because they perfectly utilize it.
Yeah, they just went all in on that opportunity.
Saxa dodges the Requiem, keeps Quinn in the Ice Shards. Ooh, big blunder as Tundra take the lead, anti-Aegis.
Got full Shivas now on 33, ready for the next fight. And of course that damage was without Chrysalis having the full Daedalus, which he's likely going to have for the next one as well. You know, that was just the Chrysalis and the Death later alone. So about a Daedalus and on top of that, yeah, this Gyro could die pretty quickly.
Yeah, he dropped the crown when it comes to the net worth. He's even 4th on the board now. Every single core on Tundra is now ahead of him.
Well, just instant BKB, it terrifies him. Yeah, 33 makes the jump on Watson. He's terrified there's more behind him. Successful little play there from 33 to poke that out.
Well, that's 80 seconds on the map where they can just play with so much more.
BCM's up to the high ground. It's like, well, Gyro's not going to BKB, so we're going to put the pressure on and see what Gaimin do.
He's got a shield rune. That's one fortification. That's a shield rune, Gale Guard, Manta style, BKB, Aegis, Beastmaster.
Tofu. Oh, a little dispose. Get the cooldown out of them.
I do think that this Hex on Quinn will make a big difference, because what has been the absolute difference maker from Game 2 to Game 3 is that Gaimin don't have clear initiation. You blink, dispose someone? Now that you have a Blink Hex, you can at least look to start a fight. So Ice may be on Saxa with some snowball saves.
Sit down bottom. Oh. Chrysalis nearly finding Malady, but the TP out was there. BZM eyes on the mid. There's the jump. 33 is going to start things off here. Tofu's trying to take Watson out of it. Quinn now with the Hex. It's Tundra. I'll be ready to bring around this bottom lane. Getting a lot done here. Was sort of how much map control they're taking. You can see, you know, Gaimin, they're in their base right now.
Yeah.
They're pretty scared of what Tundra can do. Understandably so with the last moves that Tundra's been able to make against them.
Fully stuck, no vision either. Like, they're just... Ooh, they have really lost control. It is about to be the 35-minute mark, so you've got nighttime double siege waves coming up. Tundra, if they feel strong, could drop the banner and go hit one of the lanes. Also, Eng Tusk late game is really no joke. Saxa is already working on the Walrus kick, which is incredible against Gyro and SF. Some of the biggest problems of these heroes, repositioning. 33 knocking on the door. Anyone home?
Dire's courier has been killed.
Each time just trying to see what he can get out of Gaming Gladiators with these jumps. They're going to try and punish him. It's the borrowed timeout. The blink's there though, and still not really a safe situation for them to chase him down. They are going to go for a little bit of a smoke, but it's still not easy, even though they know that the borrowed time's on cooldown. Aegis is about to expire, sure, as well, BZM. So there's a little bit of a window maybe for Gaimin to do something here.
It does give them a window to strike. Let's see if Saxa can come in clutch.
I do get 33's Courier, which was the... Okay, still needed a bit of money for the rest of it, but we'll slow down the Hex probably a little bit. Because it did have the recipe on.
They see Ace
They
on
get
top.
the roll. They've got the setup here. BZM gets the opening. Watson able to slide away though this time. So the Raw and the BKB committed there from BZM. Won't get anything this time round. Couldn't quite get the rest of the team in position to bring the damage required. Aghanims on Jakira. Satanic on the Gyro.
Well, you are getting yourself some buffs, but just look at what the supports are getting on the Tundra side. You've got Vipemon, who's queuing up a BKB into a Moonshard, and he will get there if the game lasts, and Saxa is halfway to his Aghanims.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Let's see for Gaimin. It's not easy for them to start a fight. Of course, you do have the Hex now on Quinn.
Ready to bring it on the top. Tundra. $33 is going to make his way over. I mean, Quinn's already starting to lead in for Gaimin. There's the jump there for Saxa. He's training it. Beautiful shot. He's caught the turn, and Quinn will still get the Requiem off. Turns towards Saxa. Is able to blow him up with the combo. See if Quinn can get out of this, though. 33 coming in with a chase. The neutral's going to trip on Malady. BZM with the roll ready again. Straight on towards him. The ult comes out from Ace. Keeping Quinn alive, but 33 tanks it up with the borrowed time. The buyback comes into play from Saxa. 33, can he get on top of them again? Have a jump forward, but the Hex is there. Saxa in with the punch. They've got the control on a Quinn. Chrysalis pots the BKB, moves in, trying to get the damage in onto Quinn, but Quinn can kite it out. Look towards Watson. Watson pots the BKB, tries to stand his ground, but BZM's on top of him. Watson with
Rebound.
the Satanic. He's healing up here. Watson back up to full HP. Watson will survive. Tundra will lose this fight big time as Gaimin take down them all. They couldn't deal with Watson this time around. Gets the Satanic off, back up to full HP. And the fight, a complete disaster there for Tundra.
What a buyback and rebound combo from Tofu to really just keep Watson in the fight and get it on top of, like, what, 3 heroes with the Satanic up and running?
I mean, they could come in heavy with the push. Look at the buyback situation. The cores don't have, they don't have the money.
They actually have nothing.
If they I mean, we'll see. It's a bit of a bold call if they do try and poke the tier 4s after this, but we'll see how much Gaimin look for here.
I really think you should. You should, like,
do you test it?
Talk and say hello. Yeah, you've got liquid fire, everything. You go for it.
There's some of them. Okay, they're just trying to make sure.
Being annoying.
Yeah, he's cutting the creeps.
And they've got the couriers.
Okay. Well, decent damage coming in from Whitemon. But I think they're going to figure it out. They're like, guys, they're not buying back.
Yeah.
They don't have the money. Gaimin, they're ending it, and they've called it. They've not got the money. They have no buybacks. This game's over. This series, it's going to Gaimin. They take it 2-1 today against Tundra.
That's one of the strangest endings I have seen. They've been in full control.
They need to manage their finances better, Kezu.
They take one fight, get wiped, and they do not have any of the buybacks available.
They don't have them.
That's actually crazy. They just walk down mid and start hitting the throne.
Absolutely, a great call from Gaimin to try that. I feel like, some teams might not have tested it, but they were like, we got to. They're not buying back.
You have full network on all your cores, full HP. Sure, of course. You just straight up go. Wow, Tundra, they're going to be kicking themselves for that one.
Yeah,
Gaimin.
That was a very, very sudden ending there, unfortunately, for Tundra. But for Gaimin, they've done it. They've managed to get the series win here today against Tundra, 2-1.
They have finally defeated Tundra for the very first time in a best-of-3 this entire season. But that's not all, T. What did we really witness here in this momentous occasion for Gaimin Gladiators and for Quinn?
He finally did it. He's won 2 games of Shadow Fiend in the same year. Yes! He broke some terrible streak that we didn't even know existed until today, but he also won it in a really weird way, right? Like, when have you seen Tundra, like, they lose the early game, They recover it based on BZM Beastmaster popping off, getting these pickoffs, threatening Gaming. Watson has a little bit of a fumble in the Roshan pit, looking despair, Gaming should lose, and then suddenly it gets to Tundra's head. They don't invest into buybacks, and the game's just over.
This is a rare miscalculation from Tundra. Whenever they lose, it's off of maybe like draft or laning or something like that. But not having the gold for buyback on all of your heroes, that is not something that I would ever see out of a 33 roster.
And you're playing versus Shadow Fiend, by the way. This hero just goes through your buildings in an instance. It doesn't even matter. The rest of them as well are very capable of doing exactly that as well. They maul through objectives. This game was honestly so back and forth. It was a bit crazy, like the itemization as well from both of these teams. I feel like was so damn greedy. But in the end, definitely paid off for game in that last fight. The Satanic usage, I was actually surprised that they were going in with no Abaddon ulti, right? Like, okay, he's jumping in, he's baiting because he wants the others to jump in as well and go on him so that his team can follow up. But moving Gyro closer to your own teammates with the Satanic being there, that was a crucial mistake. Yep.
I just want to say for all the support players out there, just for clarification, the Enchantress and the Tusk, of course, did use buyback, so they had the buyback for the fight, but the cause, at the end of the game, Beastmaster, 678 gold from buyback, Templar Assassin, 1,022, Abaddon, 1,647, and that was as Gaming started hitting the tier 3. Like, they were not close to buybacks at all, so in Tundra's mind, that was a fight in the enemy jungle and Gaming where they expected to get the pick off. They expected to win the fight. They used their support buybacks to chase down the engagement. Like, this is going to be the start of the fight here, right? They got Quinn in a relatively okay position. They think, you know what, we can go for him. And yeah, the fact is, you don't often think a tier 2 dire jungle fight will lead to the Radiant Ancient getting hit a matter of, what, 70 seconds later.
It almost never happens. They also try to play this. I can understand their go because they also have Abaddon.
Look how split they are. Sorry, like, Abaddon blinks in. BZM, he actually walks to the top of the tier 2 area. So you got Saxon going, snowballing in, 33 running in, BZM's now turning up to the fight late. So this is not a Tundra on the same page. The cores are all on different pages. And yeah, it's very strange. I did not expect... I mean, to be fair, from that group stage, maybe we did expect to see it, but yeah, that highlight is quite damning.
That was huge overcommitment right there from them, and I'm not sure if they might have had a plan on the Satanic and what they could have done about it, but perhaps it just failed. It didn't happen. I can see the go idea just jumping in on the Abaddon and baiting some spells out because their prolonged fights are really good. You have Abaddon, but you have to completely respect Gaming as well because they have Omni Knight. It's kind of the same deal. Like, you go on either the Gyro or the Shadow Fiend and they just get healed constantly. If not healed, they get repelled and they get extra strength as well from it, from all the dots on the other side.
It's one of those games where you're winning the game because of one hero, kinda, in regards to the aggression. But then when that hero steps away from the engagement, you're kind of back into a losing position.
Which is BZM's Beastmaster.
Exactly. So like, when I rewatch that highlight, it's like BZM has been the centerpiece of every successful fight, choking out Gaming. The one time that he steps away and then 33 steps up to take over the initiation, that's when they fumble and they go too far. So yeah, just one bad choice in the game, Gaming go, thank you very much, and they close out the win. So for Gaming, they're going to be very happy with this. But they will obviously want to review the game and go, where could we have fixed things? Because they're not going to be given this type of gift again in a future game for sure.
The instincts to straight up just go for the jugular after a fight like that is also encouraging for Gaming Gladiators coming into this series kind of cold. We saw them have a fantastic group stage, and then game 2, they get slowed down a little bit, and we're like, okay, maybe, or was it game 1 that game 1 they had the axe? Yeah, so game 1 they came in kind of cold, and we're like, oh, well, I guess Tundra's just going to be their Achilles heel over and over again.
You called it the gaming coordinator. It worked out in the end. It gave them that one extra, well, not one extra, maybe 10 extra minutes of time to recuperate and figure out what was actually necessary.
And maybe we'll get an opportunity to see how they got their bearings in this streak-breaking win result, because Nomad is standing by with Quinn.
I sure am. Yeah, we're ready for a Quinn interview. I mean, how you feeling after this one, Quinn? Good. Tundra's been kind of our nemesis this year. I think we have kind of a bad matchup against them, and they've clapped our cheeks like 1,000 times, so it's good to finally clap them back, suckers.
Absolutely. That last game was like, that was over quick. I mean, were you expecting them not to have buyback in that situation?
Maybe not like as we're fighting, but right after the fight's over, like they have like just completed items and like half items on like all their heroes. So I think it's like we knew when we're pushing base, they have no buys.
Absolutely. I mean, yeah, it looked that way as well. Straight down the tier 4s, running it down. And then, of course, in this series as well, you pull out the Shadow Fiend not once, but twice. This is usually a hero which you pick up like once or twice a year, but now we're seeing it twice in one series. Is the hero just good?
Yeah, I think it's a pretty good hero. I can't remember what they changed, not gonna lie. But I know people started picking it recently. I genuinely can't remember what they changed. But the hero is pretty good right now. A lot of teams are trying it. It's picked a lot in pubs and stuff. It's not a bad hero.
Okay, great. So expecting to see more of that one, hopefully, because you look very confident in that one. So what do you think has changed? What's different? And why were you able to kind of snap back so hard at Tundra in this series?
I think we had a good talk after game 1, and we figured out, like, I think game 1 is very hard for us at draft. And I think we figured out more what we want against them and what they want against us, and we had a better idea going to game 2 and 3 in draft, and I think it shows. And I also think that we've been slowly getting better and better over the year, and I think they have not, to be honest. Like, I think they've floundered. They look pretty inconsistent in this tournament, and I think whenever like you're as dominant as they are, like earlier in the year, it's hard to maintain that, and I think they're also kind of dropping off a little.
Absolutely. Well, you guys are getting like better and better each and every time. Has this felt like, is there one key thing that's changed in the team recently? Like one thing which you kind of overcame to get to this form?
I think our communication has been improving. I think that's the biggest thing. I think it was a pretty big problem for a long time. A lot of small things adding up, and I think that's been something we've been actively working on that I think is showing itself in results. We still have a long way to go, but I think it's been getting better.
Okay, fantastic. And one last question, because this just I want to know what happened in that pause. What was going on with the coats and everything during that pause?
It was unreal cold in the room. The AC was blowing right on my hands, and I could not play. I needed to pause because my hands were too cold. So yeah, I don't know what it looked like I was doing, but I had hand warmers, and I was trying to fix my situation.
Good. All right, glad to get clarification on that one thing. Thank you very, very much, Quinn. Congratulations. Best of luck in the rest of the tournament. We'll send it back to the panel.
You can't be playing Shadow Fiend when you're in frigid conditions. This man needed to loosen up. He didn't have the Arcana. The Arcana has the fire built into it. And now, maybe Shadow Fiend is starting to become a hero that he's seeming more comfortable on. I didn't really get the impression that he was just like, yeah, I never played this hero. And, we just started workshopping it, and it happened all of a sudden. It seemed like he's been always considering it in his pocket, just maybe not in competitive.
I mean, you're a mid laner. You're always going to have Shadow Fiend in your repertoire at some point in your years of playing Dota. Maybe not competitively, but I'm sure in his pubs, he's probably got many more games in his pubs compared to Pro. Just to get it into a draft is quite difficult. So now that they're realizing that it's a strong hero in the current patch, we'll probably see it more.
Yeah, the hero was just dead. I don't think it's anything to do with Quinn. If you go through 90% of the mid laners and you check their games, you're not going to find a lot of Shadow Fiends recently. It was meta for a little while on mid with some Blink Yules, but when was actually the last year when we had constant SF being picked? It's been a bit.
I can tell you there have been many, many people who are still living in 2017 who have been aching for the day that Shadow Fiend would reemerge as a top-tier hero, and Gaming Gladiators are making a strong case for that being true here in Wallachia Season 5. They are going to be moving forward in our bracket, and now we need to figure out who's going to be their opponent on the other side. Will it be Na'Vi or will it be Extreme? We'll find out after the break.
The new breakthrough and innovative phone with 1xBet app. With 1xBet app, you can register and start betting in just one click. Intuitive interface and thousands of sports events every day. User-friendly app. Big wins, fast payouts.
The human body was built to move. Not trapped at a desk in one singular posture for 12 hours a day. It's time your chair evolved. This is Secret Lab Titan Evo. Ergonomically engineered for you. Gamers, hybrid workers, artists. Backing your every move.
One playoff series out of the way already, and now a second one on deck. We've got Na'Vi taking on Extreme Gaming, the one lone team in this entire top 8 that will not be going to Hamburg come September. What are they doing here, Lizard? Who let these guys in the club?
Yeah, the team is not gonna go. The organization will.
Sure.
Right?
That's the cheap answer. Give us the real answer.
What are they doing here is they're kicking ass. That's what
yeah,
they're doing.
they are.
They've been absolutely demolishing teams. And, okay, at some point they had some struggles with mega creeps here and there. But in general, they've been playing out of their minds. We had an interview with Ari. He said the same thing, that they're feeling that they've improved, that they're feeling much better now that they're unleashed from the TI burden. Look at Yuragi, like he is averaging the most kills per match in the tournament. They have a couple of other records as well, by the way. I think they have the most assists as well, but this one, unfortunately, I'm not sure if it's good or bad, but they are winning.
I think I like this one more than the previous one because per minute, I think, is more relevant than per match, because they have had a lot of minutes of Dota, and it's easy to rack up high numbers when you're in like 60-minute games.
And because of that, these two on top, Kaori and Ari, that are kind of playing the heroes that are forcing Boom into nefarious positions, he has racked up a record in most damage taken. Why? Because he gets picked up and thrown into the gutter every time, and yeah, it's rough for him, but they're winning.
Yeah, from those stats, it's supports like to be active, which is true. Boom is playing Undying, which is like high HP, damage-soaking hero, and then Yuragi, he's good at killing heroes, maybe not Ancients, but of course, with that day off, that could be a thing that he's learned over the previous day to ensure that Na'Vi are in good stride to progress through the upper bracket.
Yeah, I have seen, I had minimal expectations for them coming into this. I thought that they would be a guaranteed elimination, and for them to not only make it through, but make it through on day number 2, that's encouraging stuff.
Yeah, it absolutely is. I don't know. I have high hopes going towards the rest of the tournament as well for them. We'll see how far they can go, but if they continue playing the way that they have, and if they improve on a couple of things like Tigav has said, hitting the throne and whatnot, I think that they can go all the way.
A cool thing as well with Na'Vi is the fact that they are very honest with the fact that pressure got to them between the players, the coaches, everyone. They all kind of struggled through the intensity of what the TI qualifiers meant to them. But coming here, that all kind of disappeared, right?
The burden has been lifted.
The burden has gone. And I think also in the pubs that they've been playing, like Yuragi yesterday, I had the privilege of losing to him and he played Windrunner carry, right?
Oh.
Who's playing Windrunner carry? Not really. This morning, I load up some streams, I'm looking around, I see Yuragi, he's playing PL carry, right? Like over the break day in his pubs, it's not as if he's looking at the meta and going, okay, I'm gonna keep playing TA, I'm playing into Tiny, I'm playing Sven, I'm playing Terabit.
Yeah, he's practicing all the stuff.
Yeah. Exactly.
On the other side, I have to say Amaze as well. Like we have seen some PLs here and there, but going back to Na'Vi, I wonder, they had, obviously, they were broken under pressure. That's as simple as it gets, right? Like during the qualifiers. Swiss stage here, they didn't have the pressure on them. Playoffs, it might creep up on once again.
Sure.
Right? Like it's still a big stage. You're playing versus top tier teams, which they have already, but now everything is on the line. It's like playoffs and stuff. It brings its own little form of gravity. So I wonder if it might hurt them or if they'll be completely cool, calm, and collected.
They may have given themselves some expectations now, and how could you not, now that they are progressing through the tournament and they're getting an opportunity against a Chinese team. Expectations for Extreme are generally lower when it comes to international opponents. It's supposed to be tidebound that this is a Chinese team that's winning always against the Europeans of Dota, but now Extreme is getting a chance too. I, yet again, was a little bit surprised to see this team make it through into the top 8. Sure, they are a TI attending team, but like I said, historically, this team has not excelled whenever it comes against opponents that are not from their same region.
Yeah, and also when you think about the matchup, Extreme versus Na'Vi, this specific roster of Na'Vi, they are yet to play against each other. If you think about maybe Yuragi's being on Na'Vi, they only played one time at the Snow Ruri tournament some time ago. So it's as if it's an Extreme that often struggles against random non-Chinese teams.
Sure.
And also it's a team that's in good form that there is limited knowledge about realistically, individually. When you think about the players, it's like they're losing qualifiers. When you look at losing replays, it's kind of a bit awkward. They're just getting stomped. So yeah, it's a brand new Na'Vi against an Extreme that for some reason, with all the caliber of names they have, every tournament I see them in, they're volatile, but they're volatile to get to top 8, and then they kind of fade away. They're yet to make it to the top 4, to the top 2.
Yeah, Extreme also had to make it all the way to the last day of our group stage here, and so they did not comfortably cruise through, but they were able to get their 2-0 versus Heroic, and then the day before, they were able to get a 2-0 against Enigma Galaxy, so at least they have some momentum on their side.
Yeah, I feel like momentum is important here, and especially with their last series, they 2-0'd, like you said, versus Heroic, and they also played versus Meepo with a lot of confidence. That's kind of a cheese pick, a pick that you don't necessarily expect to happen all the time, even though, of course, wildcards are known for it. But
wait, did they?
It was Heroic. It was Heroic.
Yeah, Heroic.
Yeah. It was Yuma's Meepo.
It was Yuma's Meepo.
It was Yuma's.
XM
popped
off from Storm's
my bad. But yeah, in any case, they still beat a Meepo with confidence. And they didn't really stray away from their bread and butter. Like, they continued playing the normal Dota, and for me, that feels good.
Yeah, Paulson had suggested at their post-series interview that they were aware of the possibility of the Meepo, and the fact that they did not have to throw out their fundamentals just to be like, you never know, Yuma might whip out a Meepo, meant that they could beat it with their own Dota.
Yeah, and he's coming into this series. Of course, a lot of hype around Na'Vi is kind of the playmaking potential of Copy, but also I would argue for Extreme, XM. If he's having a good game, a lot of Extreme feels also pretty good, right? I think Arme, unfortunately, in his current kind of iteration, is very hit or miss. When his team's winning, he feels good. When his team's losing, he kind of falls in line. He kind of goes, you know what, I'll kind of slowly lose with you. He doesn't really step up to be that kind of beacon of light and hope in a game. So I think mid lanes will be very critical in this series too.
Yeah, I'd contrast it to like how I look at BetBoom team, which is like pure, that team often lives or dies by pure state, whereas Ame is just like a little gravy on top. If XM is having a good game, then the rest of it will come with it. But I don't know if Ame is having a bad game, I don't know if Extreme are just gonna fall to pieces.
Man, Na'Vi just love their Shadow Shaman. This is one team that's willing to first phase it if it's in the pool. They love playing it. They have their own strategies with it. This is also part of their identity when it comes to dealing with the meta carries. We've spoken on this before, right? Like the Linas. If you have Shadow Shaman and with Blink BKB and an Ursa jumping, you're probably 100-0 in every game.
Just any minute, the turnaround potential of fight or even pick-off potential.
Look at that
critical.
Ursa ban as well, yeah. This is just the combo that they have played, and when you look at their Dota buff and you see these two heroes being picked 3-4 times together, you just ban out the comfortable combination.
Yeah, it also helps where Arme's been playing Shadow Fiend carry, Doom carry, Alchemist carry. Like Ursa against a lot of these heroes, you get on top of them, you're gonna feel pretty good.
Queen of Pain carry as well, right? Like Hex is kind of nice into that, Shackles as well.
Getting rid of all the Yuragi jump nuisance heroes.
I'm tempted to give you a task, Tika, but I don't want it to occupy too much of your brain. But
try me.
Anecdotally, it feels like Ame may have the widest hero pool of the carries so far this tournament.
10 seconds remaining.
I can check for you, boss.
Okay. I'm curious if there are numbers for that, because oftentimes it's a double-edged sword. Either it means that I haven't found what I'm really comfortable with, or I'm comfortable on everything.
If you look at the heroes that he has played, they are all meta cores, all meta carries.
Sure.
So he didn't.
Aside from Queen of Pain,
which he made meta.
Sure.
So that kind of, I guess, is the meta carry now as well.
Which goes so far uncontested, and everyone else has been very, very scared of the possibility of Extreme's Queen of Pain.
So for my quick search, it is him and Shiro who are combined, where he has 11 games, 10 different heroes.
Wow.
Shiro has 12 games, 11 different heroes.
Okay.
And then other players, it's like 15 games, 10 heroes, etc. But he is within contention of being one of the most versatile carry players so far at Wallachia.
At least the ones that are still in the tournament.
Yeah, exactly. True. So in regards to playoffs, then...
There we go.
Yep.
We summoned her.
Every single team has been first phase banning it against Extreme.
If everyone is first phase banning it and you let it go through, that means that you have an idea, you have a solution, or at least you think you have a solution. We'll see if that's the case for Na'Vi. I think yesterday BetBoom demonstrated that Queen of Pain is extremely potent right now, not only because she's a good carry and mid, but she can be played on offlane. And right now I'm seeing this Tusk. He enables almost anything on offlane.
Exactly,
and
yeah.
Queen of Pain Tusk is a mean lane to play against.
The entire opening from Extreme is so strong, where you've got Fatal Bonds to pair with the aggression of a Tusk. You've got the heals to make Queen of Pain feel good when she jumps in with Blade Mail. You've got the additional heal. You're mentioning the Tusk, the laning capabilities. Like the entire concept of these first three heroes, not only is it formidable in laning and mid game, it also opens up for the flexibility where you see 4 heroes from Na'Vi, then you decide where things go. So yeah, Na'Vi, they're going to have to respect that the early game aggression is somewhat Extreme favored, and they just want to be able to weather that a little bit.
So this is kind of cool, right? You pick both of these heroes that are on paper good against co-op. Like you pick the Puck for mid and Abaddon for offlane if co-op is safe lane. But that game that I feel like broke some records on a safe lane Queen of Pain.
And he maxed Shadow Strike.
He played into Abaddon as well.
Yeah.
He was on the safe lane.
So I'm very curious that Na'Vi decide to run into this same strategy that was beaten.
So just so I heard you correctly, they were doing Abaddon offlane into the carry Queen of Pain, right?
I don't know which the pick order was, but Ame was playing safe lane Queen of Pain
and he maxed Shadow Strike.
Abaddon, and he maxed Shadow Strike.
Or was he laning against the Abaddon?
Yes.
He was laning against the Abaddon.
Because when I see this draft, I see Abaddon going to carry for Yuragi, and then it'll be a mid Puck.
Could be the case.
Because Yuragi normally takes the Abaddon, and I feel like they're probably utilizing the last pick of the draft for Boom, just to understand exactly what's happening with the Queen of Pain. We mentioned that flexibility in the draft. If Na'Vi were to lock in an offlaner here, then you get to really utilize that. Okay, we see this. Ame, what do you want?
Yeah, because it was. I looked it up. It was actually Tundra picked Abaddon at 23 against Ame's. Well, they didn't know it was going to be Ame, but a 17th pick Queen of Pain.
If it is a Abaddon safe lane on Na'Vi, they desperately need a Darkseer ban. I think. Like even if it did get nerfed recently, I still think it's such a good matchup that it might just warrant a ban. Besides that, maybe an Enigma ban as well is pretty good.
Anything that creates kind of tempo to play around, I think, is really nice. Because for Extreme, you've got the Void Spirit to CS against the Puck. You have the Aghanim Silence to threaten the Shaman in the game. Then the early aggression that we mentioned from the first 3 heroes.
There's also one extra thing. Like we talked about Bad Boom offlaning the co-op. I'm sure XXS would also pick it up, just play it on the offlane with the Tusk into the Abaddon if he wanted to. And then you also have the variability of these heroes where you can just last pick your safe lane for Ame as well. So Darkseer does get out.
Yeah, that's a critical ban for sure.
And I feel like that's them saying that, okay, this last pick of ours will be on the safe lane. I mean, Abaddon and the Enigma. Okay, so both of the offlane calls are out. I'm not sure if anything is as annoying as these two.
I think Brewmaster is somewhat up there just for the chaos of the fight. The additional control, it just takes like one Cyclone onto an Abaddon or the one little bit of stun elsewhere in the fight to enable the co-op to enter. When you have Void jumping in, Brew Pandas going around, Golems
Not too
getting
bad for
through.
sure, yeah. A lot of chaos in fight.
So much chaos.
You want Chaos Pango still remains in the draft.
I think that's also a decent pick.
I'm always scared to say Pango just because of the Puck, the coil.
The hero that they played in the last game as well, that they played into the Meepo in the last series, I should say.
And it could still be a flex. Queen of Pain can still go offlane and give safe lane Doom Ame.
I kind of forgot Doom just didn't get banned, but yeah, fair enough. Heroes going to be very annoying. Copy often on Puck has these standout, just incredible clutch moments. Like in every Puck game, he always has that one moment. Against the Doom, you're not going to be able to do that. You are just going to have to disengage from the fight.
Yeah, the thing is, though, it also depends on the Void Spirit, I feel like, how much control you bring to the Puck, right? Because it's not that easy usually to doom him.
For sure.
And besides the Void Spirit, all these other heroes, they provide no catch. Like Tusk versus a Puck, it's not a catch.
Yeah.
So it's on Doom plus Void Spirit to combo things nicely to get rid of the Puck through the game. But Doom also has to worry about Abaddon. I feel like he's picked because of that as well. Like your ulti is really nice into him too.
And they are walking over to Yuragi, actually. He's talking a bit. My fear for Navi's lineup is Warlock often excels when Fatal Bond's hitting a support means they can't really fight. Willow, Shaman, they're not too happy, and they are going to put the Terrorblade into the carry role, pushing the Abaddon to the offlane.
Yeah, we had the same thing yesterday though, right? Like the TB being picked up into the Quap. We don't know if Quap, let's see, Ame is playing it, okay?
It is. Yeah.
So it will be the safe lane Quap into Boom's Abaddon.
Na'Vi's entire draft is built around the 3 cores needing items to be really happy, because in the early game, Puck can die to a Doom Void Spirit jump. Terrorblade steps up, you're going to die to Sonic Wave and a Golem. There's a lot of combinations Extreme can utilize to threaten Na'Vi in the fight. Whilst Na'Vi's fight, it's Coil to hold them. Abaddon might shield someone. Shaman can control someone. Like, it feels really awkward for Na'Vi after lanes until they get items. Sure, Terrorblade with Skadi and Manta and all this will feel great. Puck with Witchblade and Blink and whatever. So yeah, I think for Na'Vi, it's survival to feel really good.
Yeah, some ultra late game from Puck and TB, I feel like can not be contested by 90% of drafts that we have seen in the tournament so far. But Extreme Gaming, they just have to play the tempo. They drafted for it, play the tempo, then let's see if they can break Na'Vi early enough. You have heroes that basically only need levels and you're already online post-laning stage, like you can play the map.
Alternatively, we're going to see if Na'Vi were correct in letting Ame get his hands on Queen of Pain and then picking the Abaddon into it, because they had to have known it was coming.
On paper, that's supposed to be a good matchup for Abaddon, but it isn't working out, yeah.
Or maybe there's only one game of sample size and maybe Coach Milan has different ideas because he's standing by with Nomad.
Thank you, Tsunami. Yeah, I'm talking to a member of Na'Vi, which I've wanted to do for a pretty long time now. I just want to ask, the hell's going on, dude? Like, not to bring the mood down, you lost 2 qualifiers coming into this, you lost your organization, and now you just turn into a tier 1 team. How does that happen?
I don't think we're tier 1 team yet, but we have beaten some tier 1 teams, which is a way to it. And I think that's the kind of headline of the story. We're a very young team, maybe 3 months together. And like, the good things take time. Everybody knows that. And I think after a qualifier, we got some good conclusions. I had some really like revelations of what this team needs. I get to know it because you get to know your team through the challenges, and like losing that and how they reacted to it and what they wanted to do next. I think it helped a lot, like come into this tournament with a bit of different mindset. And I think that's just how things go. I think it happened to like some teams in previous years that they managed to qualify to TI and they did well in the next year. It's just like when the pressure is gone and like you understand some things, it just builds up on it.
Excellent stuff. I'm liking all of that, and it's working so well for you. And now, just quickly on these drafts, because we should talk about that a little bit. I mean, what's your read on Extreme Gaming and how to beat them?
I think they're a bit random, like in sense like they have like 30 second pick games and like 3 first pick games, and now they win the coin toss, they take first pick. I think they have some stuff going on underneath, you know. And I think it's both teams got, you know how they say, both teams got what they want, yada, 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 not reveal too much, and I hope for a good game, yeah.
Thank you for running the script, Milan. Thank you very, very much. We'll send over to game number 1 with ODPixel and Kezi.
Thank you very much, the Nomad and Milan, as we get into the action of this game 1, Na'Vi versus Extreme Gaming. And we're going to get to see some more Ame Quap.
Again.
Was fantastic the other day when we watched it, when we casted it. And yeah, what Na'Vi's approach is going to be against it. Some of the stuff, though, that was picked against it, Ame, I believe, if I remember correctly, last time he was picking the Quap into. Like, he picked the carry Quap into the Abaddon.
Blasted the Abaddon.
He didn't care about the Abaddon. Obviously, Na'Vi's approach still is to go for this Abaddon against the Quap because, you know, shield against the dagger, there's ideas. But we know that Ame, he doesn't care about the Abaddon.
No, absolutely not. I mean, they just end up spam clicking, and I think they're going to do it here again. I mean, if you think about it, at least hero-wise, Abaddon is supposed to counter these two, but if you keep getting clicked over and over, it doesn't really matter. And yeah, I'm happy to see Na'Vi here. As we heard in the interview, of course, they went through a lot of challenges. And as cringe as it may sound, mindset is so much. I've seen so many players that just absolutely lose it when it comes to, like, you know, the pressure and the nerves, but they're doing good. They're here in the playoffs, so let's see what they can show us.
Yeah, because XG will not be an easy opponent. And these guys...
Well, that's a blood grenade.
Well, there we go. Ame in particular.
That's also a blood grenade.
On the Quap. Now, he's standing his ground against Ari.
He's got some sticks.
He's healing up here with a Shadow Word. Now, just have to be a bit careful with that shield out. Ame's going to get another dagger out as the shield comes to an end. That's...
He's got the fairy. Should be okay.
There's still a fair bit of damage with the dagger and the Shadow Word, but he should be okay. But yeah, Ame's Quap the other day. He had an insane game. Let's see if we can do it again.
They do have quite a lot of lockdown, but the follow-up damage isn't the highest, at least for Na'Vi, until later. Sure, you've got the coil, you can break it with the Terrorize. So we'll see how Ame fares. He does have a lot of backup. The Jin-Q Tusk also looked phenomenal. Ari, of course, just spamming the tangos with the Shadow Realm. They did buff the innate quite a lot. You have like an insane amount of HP regen with just the tango running.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see as well if Armin does the same skill build. Because obviously with the skill build, when he did it last time we saw it, he doesn't put any points on the screen.
Yep. He got the stats, right, last time, like full out?
Yep. He went full out, stats, dagger, and blink.
I mean, let's see if that changes just because, you know, there's a TB in the game. You know, I understand you've got the Mjolnir, it clears through the AoE and everything else, but will he keep it the same? I'm not sure.
Alright. Look at the brambles in. I'm just coming up to that Lotus spawn here 3 minutes in.
I like how there's so much action here, we're just not...
It's just like daggers,
all
shields, Shadow Realms,
and it
brambles.
makes sense. Like, who cares about mid lane? It's Puck versus Void Spirit. They're gonna hit each other. They're gonna get some water runes. They'll be okay. Slightly Void Spirit favored, but they'll be alright.
At bottom lane. I mean, all in all, shouldn't be too bad for Yuragi, right? He's gonna be chilling down here.
Yeah,
already getting a lot of denies in.
Yeah, my bro's gonna be free farming on this lane for sure. You've got Rasta against 2 melees. Doom, kind of a weak hero. Takes a while to get online, so Yuragi will have a very good game. Of course, one of the best heroes against Doom overall. You've got the Sunder, you've got the map play. So Yuragi is set up for a great game.
Top just very difficult for them to really touch Armate.
Yeah, both of them just getting to kind of fully farm away. Of course, Ame with very nice CS, racking in the denies as well.
Another attempt here. Ame's not going to let it happen. Bottom. Look at the shards out. Metamorphosis comes out in return from Yuragi as they look towards Jin-Q. The snowball over to the creep wave. Should be fine. Able to slow down Yuragi there with that interruption from XXS with the Infernal Blade. No kills to be found here.
Looks like XXS should also be fine in this laning stage. He got through the early stage pretty nicely. He's got a double bracer fully at the ready. So we'll see what Jin-Q will start cooking in this early game. Not easy for him to gank mid, of course, being a Puck.
And XXS is definitely going to start hurting a bit in the level department, just how many denies that Yuragi is able to get. 14 denies already here on the safe lane. A lot being taken away. And Jin-Q trying to see if he can get him with XXS, but it just feels like impossible for these two to really kill this Terrorblade at the moment. Yuragi perfectly fine with the backup of Corey.
It is a very good TB game when it comes to the two supports and the Doom. But I will say, when you do get a couple rounds of items and, of course, spell damage, and Extreme have plenty between the Quap Carry and the Void Spirit. Looks like Jin-Q wants to go to his safe lane.
Let's see if they can catch something here. Boom and Ari. How far up the lane will they go? Boom's playing pretty cautious. It's a bit of a difficult angle for Jin-Q to catch him. Unless they do try and go on to Arme. We'll get the TP over towards the mid.
They've got Coil in both supports here.
Let's see if they can do it. There's the setup. Coil into the shackle at the same time. Is the core going to last long enough? It's not. XM's able to astral step away and the Shadow Word Heal's coming in. So he's fine, and in fact, he's able to jump back down and grab the Arcane Rune. And might even be able to find a killer. Jin-Q's leading him with a snowball onto Kaori. XM is going to have cooldowns in a second to get in on this. Throws the Remnant out, gets the grab on towards Kaori. Sets up for Jin-Q to get the first blood. They're trying to dive the tower for Polisson. Will manage to kill him off. But they've got to get out now. Jin-Q's got the blocks here with the shard. And Ari, he's in trouble. The Remnant's going to miss, doesn't matter. The Astral Step's there, XM gets the kill. An unfortunate move there for Na'Vi, bringing in the supports, but not quite able to kill XM.
A bit of they absolutely staggered their spells. I believe they did have XM there. But he gets to survive, picks up the Arcane Rune. That's also something I've seen more and more. Copy actually has an Orb of Venom on the puck, so throughout this entire laning stage, you just click them once, deal some more damage.
Yuragi wants to try and contest the Wisdom, but yeah, as soon as he sees XXS, even though he pops the meta on the Terrorblade, doesn't feel he can bully out this Doom.
I like that move. These are just the good moves. You make a move, and if the enemy team responds correctly, you still get to back out. He forces the Void Spirit TP, gets back to the lane. Of course, he has the meta running, so everyone's chilling.
All in all, pretty close start across the board. Very close. You look at the two carries, they pretty much got the same CS, same denies. Yep. Mid lane, exact same CS, same denies.
All in all.
Off lane, very close as well. It's a very even start this game.
It's gonna be a lot about the mids, just like most games are, as Extreme brings some more heroes into mid to D ward. Looking on Ahri.
I mean, let's Apollos in the bringing in Corey. He's got the Hex set up. Should be a dead Warlock. Yeah, nothing that Arme can do to help him out there on that one.
They're still on Arme. It's good pressure. And this is where small things matter. You know where Yuragi goes bottom with the meta, he forces XM to TP. Well, you make a quick move up top, mid player is not available.
There's another good grab here for XM, getting the amplified damage room ready for the next move. And Arme trying to push them off the tower. He's going to get the jump. That'll be a quick and easy one with the rotation of XM.
Sure, they grab themselves a quick kill, but if that's all Na'Vi lose, after forcing XM to TP one more time and taking, what, 60-70% of the tier 1, they're not too sad about this one.
Ahri. He's going to find XXS a little bit low, but not low enough for him to finish off the kill.
XXS has to be careful. He's still staying around.
And there's the Dream Coil. He's going to turn, try and look for the Doom, but the silence comes in into the Hex. He's gone. Ahri gets the kill. Na'Vi making some good aggressive moves.
Yeah, good little early moves. Yuragi, meta coming back up within 5 seconds, so lots of early pressure. And again, Kaori, he has been everywhere. He's been mid, he's been top, now he's back bottom. This looks like a dead tower to me.
Definitely getting away with that bit more early game tower pressure here, Na'Vi. So that's definitely sort of one thing about XG's lineup, right? Not the best at hitting the buildings. Don't really take objectives.
Unless they get like a play going. Of course, you do have the Golem, and this early on, they would love
yeah, that's probably their best pushing.
Absolutely, it is.
The scouting offering, yeah.
If they do want to take a play around the runes, they soon can. Active coming up.
Corey gets the catch. XM's going to be in there with the Remnant. Put a stop to the shackles. Corey will die for this one, but they do get the kill in return, taking out Xingqiu. XM's going to try and jump in for more. Won't be able to keep chasing, though. Both carries getting some good space, but Yuragi just getting that little bit more down bottom. He's having a very free time here as the Terrorblade so far. Top, Arme is going to start battling around with Boom. Will force out the borrowed time. It's going to be the snowball coming in. Boom might be in trouble this time around to get the shield off, but a dagger's there afterwards. Oh, that is a nice little snipe from Ahri. Indeed, takes him out himself. Make sure that they don't get the glory of the kill, Extreme.
It's very good. Gets the attack range and the damage, of course, against the dagger.
Bottom, do they have the damage for this? With Yuragi coming in, they should.
I mean, they've got Coil. He's gone. Bye-bye.
Yuragi and Copy very much having a great time.
Yeah, both teams quick on the moves. In the meantime, XG going mid with the siege creep.
See what they can do here. XM wants Ahri, but under the tier 2, they'll dive in for it. They'll get the job done and it won't be punished. They're starting to sweep back over from the bottom lane Na'Vi, but won't quite be able to get here in time. XG onto the tower.
Should be able to hold it here, Na'Vi. Let's see. Just kidding. Got some more fortification and manning up.
Good pressure around the mid. XG opening up the middle of the map so they can sweep to these side lanes a little easier.
Have to also see about the active runes, because they're ever so important with these two mid heroes, and now that the tier 1 is done, not so easy for Na'Vi. Will be forced away. XM having a very good game. Top of the network for his team, halfway through the Aghanims.
Yeah, it's going to be quick. And the Aghanims is going to be super disruptive for Na'Vi's heroes.
Well, if I could choose one hero for Extreme to have a good early game, at least for their sake, it is absolutely the Void Spirit. Silences against both these supports and the puck. Very, very crucial.
And the farm continues for both Boom and Arme top. Boom on his way towards that Radiance. Arme looking for the Maelstrom. It's closing in on it. Of course, going straight for that after the Blade Mail. Wants to skip the boots for now. Try and get away with getting that Maelstrom online as quickly as he can.
Looks like we're going to have a clash up top.
There he's in. He's in, Arme. Does he want to drop the Sonic Wave for a Dark Willow? He's thinking about it. He'll drop it now as he clips the two of them. Boom will immediately pop the borrowed time. Ari's able to survive for this, but then the Golem comes crashing in. They did get the Dream Call out. The copy kills off Paulison and Arme. So if they can get anything more, XM's out with the TP, so he'll be fine. But Na'Vi, they were ready for that one. Copy in position, make sure that they get the catch onto the both of them, and Arme doesn't get away with sticking around for that fight.
I mean, this is about the best damage they can get out. You've got Yuragi together with Copy. Just in the coil, Yuragi gets to whack away with the Falcon Blade Yasha already.
They're going to try and react to this bottom push as well. XXS moving in. I mean, they know Boom's borrowed time's on cooldown, but the setup with the fear catches the two of them. Ari pushes them back. XG won't find a chance to make a go here. Not an opportunity for XXS to use the Doom.
Very important that Ari was here with Boom to protect him. This way you do actually get to hold onto your entire map. So good map split from Na'Vi. Keep your TP top, you take your Wisdom Shrine. Copy is around to at least take a 50-50 when it comes to the active rune. And you hold your bottom tier 1.
We'll get the pick up this time. Maybe looking towards top again. I mean, Copy and Kaori. The two of them find Arme, especially with Ari's help. This will be a dead quad. We'll see if Arme can get out. It's a good orb. Very good orb here to close in upon him. Dream Core's there. It's going to buy time for Ari to get in on top of Arme as well. Can he hold himself off to the side? He can actually. There wasn't further catch after it. Arme able to wait it out and gets away from the efforts there of Na'Vi.
Looks like they could have maybe had him, but Arme wisely not snapping the coil, otherwise you just get brambled straight on top.
That plays his way out that very nicely, and now that is the Maelstrom on its way out for him. So Arme's farm's going to start to speed up.
Na'Vi went for a quick smoke through the gate. They're looking into the triangle or XXS. They do have a very nice ward, which did show them XM here in the area. But now they scan.
Yeah, and the thing is, XM's pretty beefy as well. XXS is a little lower on the HP, so might be more of a chance for the two of them. So, deep with the damage from Ari, they've got him. TPs are coming in though, can they get out? XM in with the jump. Ari's going to go straight for the TP after the Remnant was off the mark, and it's a correct call for him. He's out of there. Corey will not be as lucky. Unless Boom could do something. No, but Boom might put himself in danger. Tries to step up, but cannot save Corey. Borrowed time's going to be popped, but Boom, he might just be in trouble. The Remnant's there on towards him. Boom, in an effort to try and bail out the support, ends up losing his own life.
Without this Boom kill, I was about to say that Na'Vi are doing so well on the map, because Yuragi, during all of this, he just went mid with his meta, takes out the mid tier 1. But now that they do lose Boom,
yeah, that hurts.
Not too sad about that.
Boom, as you can see, slipping behind a little bit on the net worth out of the cause.
Yeah.
Yuragi. It's going to walk up.
No way, bro.
Teleport's not working in a million years. Too much damage coming out from Yuragi and the illusions here with the Metamorphosis. Gets himself the kill, continues to stay far ahead this game. I mean, just early stages, 60 minutes in. He's already 2k ahead of the farm of Arme on the other side as the carry. Ari trying to play for the setup here, but the silence does clip onto the two of them. Ari can't get the fear off in time. The stun comes in from Xin Q. It's a dead Dark Willow.
XM's having a very, very good game. The Aghanims is completed. So it seems like Extreme will be able to fight back in the coming minutes because they're getting very strong. You've got some snowball saves, you're getting XXS, who's working on a Crimson. You've got the Golem and a super strong Void Spirit who you can back up.
And they're ready to try and use it again here, but the regen and the smoke, the two of them, XM's ready to go. See what sort of action they can find towards the top.
Let's see about Copy. I think there's a high chance Navi can read this move.
Corey. They'll settle for the jump on him. Copy's going to try and help out. They've got the fear coming in on the two of them. The Golem's going to get dropped by Polisan onto Corey and Copy. Corey should be going down. Maybe he can get away here. But he can't. Jinkyu hits the target here with the shards. But at least for Na'Vi, the rest of them do manage to escape that, and that was the Golem being dropped. XG, they'll make something happen with the Golem, though, as they'll push on for the tier 1.
Next couple minutes, at least in terms of how strong the two lineups are, give the edge to Extreme. Now with the Void Spirit Axe being completed, it's not easy for Na'Vi to end up killing heroes now, unless you have Yuragi in the fight and you coil some people up. It's really not too easy to get them killed.
Oh, mate. He's going to have the Hyperstone, just a recipe away from the full Mjolnir.
Well, Jinkyu is here to protect him.
Now, Corey watching. Has the blink.
Na'Vi are bringing in backup.
Here's the setup. They drop the Serpent Ward straight away. Snowball save comes in. Buys a bit of safety for Ame. Still going to get caught by the reel. Get the Sonic Wave off the boat. Ame's still dead. Jinkyu to fall as well. Snowball save not enough there, as we saw, even though he goes down, Ari got the job done, puts the Bramble out, the roots catch onto the two of them, they're both dead.
Yeah, somehow he caught them both off of the snowball, so nicely done by Ari. Some very good placement. And yeah, Yuragi shows up, dishes out the damage.
Continues to just have a great time. This Terrorblade, somebody's got to stop him. Now, Yuragi is having a pretty dream game so far. He's making the most of it.
Yeah, and at least right now, they're not putting a stop to him. They're gonna have to drop quite a lot. Probably all of Void Spirit spells and maybe Ame's too. And it's not just him. Copy 2 on the puck.
And with time as well, Boom should be beginning to catch up now that he's got the Radiance online. His farm will certainly pick up a bit. It's Na'Vi heading over into the jungle. They know that XM was up here.
This would be a huge kill.
Can Copy get the catch? He's in. There's the silence. He's found the target. They've got the follow-up. TPs are coming in. XM's got a fair bit of HP, of course, with this Aghanims. Snowball will buy him a bit of time. XM, he's going to be able to jump out with the Dissimilate and the Astral Step. He gets away. They didn't quite have the damage to take him out. A little too tanky.
Good move from Jinkyu there to bail out XM. Next time around, Ari could potentially wait with the Terrorize instead of running in with the Bedlam to get them both off of the snowball save. But either way, I like what I'm seeing from Na'Vi. Good and quick moves around the map.
And they don't get the kill, and they will get the objective. They're going to lose heroes here. That's a double. But they get the Tormentor, they get the Shard.
Thought I heard a Golem.
He was thinking about it. He was teasing it. He was teasing it there, Polisan. Yuragi don't have a TP.
Oh.
So he's just got to kind of sit there and hope for the best in the corner.
Well, unless they've got the bag. Oh. No, that's Radiant Scan.
That would be just a random scan hits there. He's getting the TP on its way out, so he'll soon be free from this corner.
So, of course, XG know that Na'Vi did ditch the entire area, which is why they're smoking across. Copy. He does have an illusion rune to break free from at least one round of silence.
Oh, they'll find Corey in the river. Copy's watching. Does he want to try and do anything in return? He does not. Now, he's going to actually get the chuck to the side. That one they'll go for. Dream Call comes out onto the two of them. Polisan and XXS get caught. XXS pretty beefy, though, with the Blade Mail and the Crimson Guard. They get the control on Yuragi, the silence as well. Yuragi put the man asunder. Back up to full HP. He gets it off. And now the fight, it's over for XG. They have to try and scramble out of there. Only Jinkyu left alive. Yuragi getting that play off. The silence was there. Mantas it off. Sunder's there in time before the Doom came in upon him. Yuragi survives. Jinkyu Can he even get out of this one? He cannot. Na'Vi chase him down as well. They're going to get all 5 of them. That's a bit of an uh-oh there when the Terrorblade comes out like that. If you're XG, that's going to hurt.
I mean, just too easy for Na'Vi. If you're Extreme, you better be damn sure if you're all-inning a TB that he dies. That is a mistake you are not allowed to let have happen.
Yeah, not at all. Yuragi is just continuing to just zoom ahead of anybody else in the game right now. Level 17. 3-level advantage against that of Arme's Quap at the moment. A massive difference at this stage.
Yeah, pull it up from a 1k to 7k, and not just that. While you're dead on your heroes on Extreme, your entire map is just going to shreds. It's TB Illos running down. You've got Puck pushing out waves. Oh, that's quite troublesome. You even just had a Crimson Guard in the last fight. That didn't do much for you either.
No, it didn't do enough. At the Blade Mill, and the Crimson couldn't save himself. Too much damage coming out from the team as a whole. And that fight was sort of taken as well with, I think we've just seen him start to spend up boom, but he was like sitting on 3k gold off the back of that. We'll start to spend up now.
Yep, and now we've nearly got a Manta, which means you have 3 cores that will continuously just clear the entire map.
Yeah, they really do have to just get everything down on Yuragi next time. They have to find him with the Doom a little earlier.
Yeah, and he's got a Pike to also play around that, because XXS, I mean, unless he gets a Blink, which he currently has queued up, he's not getting to Doom Yuragi.
Radiant are scanning.
Let's sell a Bracer for it. Roshan should be on the menu next. If Na'Vi can get their hands on that, they are really cooking. Because XXS, he's having a tough game on the Doom.
Look at the silence in the opening here onto Boom. Borrowed time there, back away. The Brambles does catch on to XXS. He's considering dropping a Doom for that, but won't commit for it. The smoke comes out. They really do not want to let Na'Vi get this Roshan. Serpent was down, Yuragi's in the pit as well. XG, they've got to try and punish this.
I mean, their draft is really strong in like these little corners. You've got Warlock, Quap,
Roshan. It's going down pretty quickly though, this Rosh. They've got to make the move soon here, XG. They're going to get the jump to the side, but Ari's got the use to buy in safety. XXS will drop the Doom down onto Boom, but Roshan's dead. Yuragi gets the Aegis. They'll drop the Golem, but I think the rest of Na'Vi's just going to bail out of this. They're like, you know what, it's fine. We got the Rosh, we got the Aegis, we lost 2 heroes, but they had to drop the ultimates for that. You know, Na'Vi, they cut their losses. They take the Aegis back to safety here. Yuragi continues to farm. They don't mind. They don't care about that at all. They'll take those 2 losses.
They got what they came for. XG, sure, you get yourselves 2 little kills on the board, so you're not too sad, but...
Yeah, but that's a Doom and a Golem.
Yeah, and nothing is really stopping Na'Vi from their progression, especially with those spells being down. I mean, also, like, Copy's progression on the Puck. Witchblade, Blink, Octarine. Once you get the Lincolns, becomes even harder to kill him.
Oh, mate, very close to the BKB. Top lane. Considering some sort of setup, I mean, Yuragi's got his eyes on XM. They get the jump hit, Kurori's in. Metamorphosis is out. Dreamcoil as well. Jinkyu, can he do anything to save? He's in with the punch up on a Copy. Snowball as well, Copy. Ooh!
Oh! Sunder?
Sunder? He just sunned himself low, didn't he? I guess he was... I don't know what happened there. Either way, well, that's him dead to once, Yuragi, and now he's not got a Sunder, so he's got to be a bit more careful. Jinkyu gets him with the punch. Now the Boom's turned up, though. It's hard for them to really get on top of Yuragi. He's fine. Corey will live just with a shield coming out. Yeah, was he trying to sunder his teammate back up for legs? But what did he sunder?
I mean, he saved Copy, right? They were trying to kill Copy.
Okay.
He saved them. So, honestly, good play.
There we go. Yeah, sort of gives his Aegis kind of in a way to the Puck by giving him life. There you go. Works out.
It's honestly very good. I mean,
all right, there we go.
Yeah, Copy is 5-0. You keep up his streak. You keep up his game. You keep your teammates happy.
That's big brain.
Yep, we like those. In your pubs, you're never going to see that play.
No, absolutely not. You're not going to see the Terrorblade give his full life up like that. But yeah, Yuragi, as you say, that was it. Yeah, had the Aegis. He knew he could do that. Give his life for his boy.
Still up to a 9k lead. Let's see. How do XG want to strike back? They do have pretty good vision on the map. They're lane war top, protecting their jungle in every lane. But with this deficit, I mean, they need a more like decisive fight soon. You are getting the BKB on Ame, and at least with the Aegis gone, maybe they can find a way to take Yuragi out of the fight. But they will need to drop everything.
They really will. This Terrorblade is massive. Yuragi having a beautiful game. It's not going to get any easier here for XG.
I mean, they've yet to kill Copy or Yuragi in this game, and they have...
Yep.
Oh, just kidding.
Oh, that
will be the first.
You had to say it, didn't you, Kezu?
I'm sorry.
Oh, there we go.
My bad. Well, for their sake, they're going to have to show us more of those.
Well, they get Ari as well here, XM and Shinkyu.
All right, I will stop talking.
Well,
Yuragi should pay with his life.
Yeah, Corey's got the grab here on her XXS. Trying to bring the damage, but backups here from Arme. XXS will get the stun off. He's going to try and run, but Boom's going to cut off his escape. They'll chase him out. Arme does manage to finish off Kaori, but Arme cannot fight on to save XXS. So Yuragi continues to get another kill. At least for Arme, he's able to get involved himself, find some action. Starting to catch up.
A little bit scrappy from Na'Vi, but at least some of the spells are, again, on cooldown. So let's see. They're up 6k gold. You have your meta up and about. You're closing in on the Skadi, on Yuragi also.
Boom's still a very tough target to go for, not something that Arme can deal with right now.
Would be good for Na'Vi if they can continue to make some stuff happen, because both XM and XXS are working on their BKBs. And Na'Vi should realize their strength, that they've got a lot of lockdown between their supports.
Again, we saw these moments passing. Now, Arme's recovery, it's really kicking in. He's closing in on Yuragi's farm. Looking for the AC next after the BKB.
Similar build as to last time.
So the Dream Coil dropped. No one else here to really assist, though, with Copy. And XM knows it. He's out. Same time, that push coming in the mid. They drop the Serpent Ward down. Yuragi metamorphosis up as well. See what response they get out of XG for this one. Arme trying to deal with the Serpent Ward. Will be able to finish it off. Easy 227 gold, but the damage is done. The tier 3 will fall. Na'Vi, they're going to continue to stick around. XG, they've got the entire team back in now for the defense. So Na'Vi do have to start being a bit cautious. They'll pull back.
And so you'll likely see a full disengage from Na'Vi as the meta is running out, but XG might even want to look to smoke to a lane. Let's see. Skadi completed. Maybe they just want to trade the meta downtime for this AC and their BKBs as they are closing in.
Yeah, still pretty difficult for them to just run at Na'Vi. Na'Vi with a lot of catch and counterplay. And if they don't find Yuragi at the start of the fight, they've got to be so ready for him to come in. Because he will not miss out on any sort of engagement right now. Feels incredibly strong with the Skadi done. Like another fire on Boom now.
Yep, I like this choice a lot. Split up your Radiance. You don't really need it for the map play. Just need to make sure that the guy you go on doesn't get saved. There's a Solar, there's a Glimmer, there's a Crimson, and you literally nullify all of it now.
Well, they will have those timings though. BKBs are out, and Arme should have the AC very, very close to having the recipe gold for the next team fight. XG, they're going to smoke up immediately to try and make use of this sort of double BKBs. Well, now triple BKBs, of course, for Arme already having one, and the AC on top of it as well. So a pretty good power spike for XG.
They will just barely get through the gate before XG make it there.
Will XG follow?
It would be crazy.
So they want to go for the gate. Na'Vi.
They don't dare.
I'll take the Tormentor in and DJ. We won't see XG chase them through quite yet. A shout for Boom.
Well, Na'Vi are going for, or at least pinging for a similar play. They want to reach XG's base with the Mass Serpent Ward and the meta. I do like the play, but you have to do it convincingly. Because if you don't get it done quickly, every second your meta is running where you don't finish the racks will give Extreme an opening to look for a fight.
There we go, the ward's down. So they just want to use it to get them all forced back to base. As the Serpent Ward will get farmed. Then about half the damage to the tier 3. Na'Vi might want to wait things out until the next rush. Coming up pretty soon. We'll see how long the respawn's going to be. Arme's got eyes on Boom top. I do need a lot to try and threaten any of these cores, even the Abaddon. And Boom very much been able to climb back up here after a bit of a slower start this game. In a good spot now.
See Yuragi not messing around, building a BKB. Has it on him already. There's still a little bit of time for Extreme, where Yuragi's damage output is somewhat limited, but now he's got the Daedalus queued up. When that is finished, anyone in a stun or coil, you will bleed out to this TB.
Copy. Sansin onto the task. Armin's going to try and come in from the side. Ari as well. He's going to get jumped first. BKB comes out from Armin pretty early here. He's going to blink in, looking for Corey on the back lines. Corey gets the shield upon him. He'll live for now. Jump for from XM. They can't quite finish the shaman off. Corey's able to get the blink out. He gets away. That was quite a lot committed by XG, and they don't end up getting anyone. Now with the BKBs on cooldown, they have to start backing off, but here's the chase. The coil's down onto the two of them. They'll drop the golem here, Polisin, but the supports of XG, they're in trouble. As Polisin and Jinkyu will get left behind. The cores of XG lucky to actually be able to get out of this one. They tried to go fully in, but they just couldn't get anything done. They couldn't even kill the shaman.
I don't really like that place much. And by the way, they see Armin on the ward mid. They're mass TPing on the outpost.
Yeah, they're going straight for him. Oh, this is a bit of a nasty surprise for Armin. He did not anticipate them making such quick of a play. A slip up there that will hurt him badly. Dead for 80 seconds.
I mean, they saw him walk through the river, and I mean, even going back to the team fight, it was very... That was just straight up not a good play from XG to jump in like that. They take out all their BKBs to try and kill Arasa, aren't even able to with all the shields and heals coming out from Boom. Yep, Sister Shroud, we all love the neutral item. It's a 1,000,000,000% of evasion.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
This is a big deal.
Sort of before that fight, you could sort of see, you know what, they're not in that bad of a spot. They could get together something, but they just completely throw away that opportunity there off that play. And now Na'Vi with a very significant lead. 13k up, Yuragi's into the base, onto the barracks. Boom's now got his next dime out, the Orchid's there. Yuragi can start looking towards getting the full Daedalus pretty soon on top of the Chrysalis. As that's the mid-brack's gone. Na'Vi doing the damage here against XG.
Doing good. Cleanly take the base, which means Roshan should be what they're talking about next.
With the full 5 of them back up, wouldn't be surprised if we still see Extreme try and go for the Roche fight. Sitting back at the high ground doesn't feel too great. They're starting to step out. Arme's not with them though, and they've walked into a pretty nasty surprise there. Jinkyu just gets blown up. XM has to put the BKB and run. He's out of there. Well, yeah, a bit of an awkward walk out of the base. They're lucky to again just not lose the Void Spirit on that one.
Yeah, I mean,
only the task.
In a good position, just holding the high ground ward and kind of the whole way to intercept Roche, which now with the remaining meta will give them a free Aegis.
Yeah, Yuragi with a full Daedalus online. Copy half of the way towards the Aghanims. On top of that, Parasma, once that's there, his damage is going to be insane. And they're ready to get the push going. I just picked up on Yuragi. Got the Serpent Ward ready to drop. They can start to progress towards eyeing up another set of barracks potentially.
They will just have to wait for the meta to cool down at least a little bit. You've got a Shield Rune on Copy as well. Gonna have a banner, Mass Serpent Ward. I mean, if you're XG, they're gonna have to ask themselves the question, what do they need to do in the next fight? I think they need to kill Copy and the supports. Killing Yuragi twice is really not easy whatsoever.
Yeah, they're just incredibly difficult team fights. It feels like the best sort of move is trying to find a play where Yuragi is just not around, but So far, Yuragi has always made sure he's there to help his teammates out.
Yeah, he's been playing flawless on the TV.
608. Excellent stuff from him. And yeah, 500 gold. They'll have the Aghanims on copy. Oh, Corey. Look at the Hex on a Xingqiu. They're moving with the damage. The Silence on Yuragi. Sonic Wave pushes him back. Corey still alive. Vexen's going to try and chase this time. They will be able to finish off the Shaman kill. Corey, he'll buy back immediately. And that is all they got. Just the Shaman. They'll lose Xingqiu for it in turn. Now Na'Vi quick with the smoke. I mean, they're more than ready to keep this push going.
So we're probably going to have a trade of buybacks here from the supports.
Yeah, Metamorphosis is at the ready for Yuragi. And here it is. Serpent Moore's dropped down. Fortification comes out from Extreme. Copy. In with the jump fight. The silence onto Army. They're going to be the buyback for Xingqiu. They're in straight away on top, and they'll drop the Doom down onto Boom. Boom getting forced out of the fight. Boom will fall. They've killed the Abaddon. Yuragi getting low, but he's able to sunder himself back up to full HP as he takes the life of Xingqiu. That's a dieback on the Tusk.
Still half duration on the meta left.
Na'Vi, if they want to keep teasing the base here, Arme's going to jump in and try and burst Ari. It's not enough, and Corey's got his hands on him. Gets the Hex into the shackles. Arme, BKB's on cooldown after this. There's no way out of it anyway. That's Arme gone. Trying each and every time. He'll come in with the buyback now. Yuragi still has the Aegis, of course. They'll drag him back. They'll be able to burst him the once. As he respawns, he'll have the BKB. He's also got Sunder back and ready to play with as well. Plus the BKB. The shackles onto Arme. He's dead. They catch him again. His BKB was still on cooldown when he went for that play. That should be game over. The carry's out for 100 seconds. GG's called. Na'Vi will take game 1.
Oh, they're looking good, Na'Vi. They should be happy with this win. I mean, if you're Zhao 8, you've got some talking to do with Extreme. They didn't get a single good team fight going, and Arme with some questionable plays. But yeah, Na'Vi, hats off. Nice performance.
Absolutely, yeah. They'll be definitely trying to get this Terrorblade in again, as we've seen them do so before. But yeah, Yuragi's TB, absolutely flawless. 10-0-9, did everything the team required. And yeah, copy, as you say, from the mid. We've seen this before on his puck. So sometimes his play is just insane. Yeah. Absolutely insane stuff. Fantastic stuff from Na'Vi. A rough one from Extreme. They're going to have to step it up in game 2. Game 1 goes to Na'Vi.
Well, here's what I'm gathering now. If Abaddon is in the hands of 33, then Ame is able to beat it. But if it's in the hands of Boom, then he can't beat it, which by extension must mean that Tundra is worse than Na'Vi. And since that Tundra is... I can't believe it. We're witnessing a paradigm shift within our own tournament right now.
You're overloading. Wildcard's eliminated. You're trying to find a new team to cling on to.
You're on to me.
I know. But
I love the underdog stories.
Love the underdog stories.
Honestly, it's not about Boom defeating the Queen of Pain as much as Queen of Pain defeating the Queen of Pain. I'm not sure what Extreme... Like, when we finished this panel, looking at that draft, I feel like 90% of any analysts, coaches, players would say, okay, Extreme Gaming's draft is played fast. Okay. Like, they picked tempo lineup. They're supposed to play it with tempo. These guys just AFK'd farmed. And I can see the idea behind some Blade Mill, Mjolnir on Queen of Pain, kind of scaling with the perfect dooms on the TB. But those never connected. Like, the team fights needed to be flawless for them because they put themselves in such a situation that if they're not flawless, Yuragi just pops his meta and just absolutely devastates Extreme Gaming 9 out of 10 times in these team fights. So yeah, I'm not sure what happened there and why the paradigm shift within their team when it comes to the way they played, but something hurt them in the laning stage.
Yeah, for Na'Vi, they had good lanes. They were able to set themselves up. Terrorblade farmed well, Puck farmed well. Abaddon, sure, had a couple moments, but still, at the end of the day, was able to hold his own. Bottom net worth in the cause, but eventually picked up the pieces. And yeah, I agree with Lizard. I feel like the early game from Extreme, it was a very mid-focused, reacting to the Shaman movement middle, reacting to the Willow movement middle. And because Na'Vi set the pace of the early game movement, Extreme didn't have the resources to then take the Twin Gate, go find Yuragi. Like, when I see a Queen of Pain carry, even though the last time Arme played it, it was also quite farm heavy, I'm at least expecting, to poke your head through the Twin Gate one time, maybe plan a catapult wave, try and progress the map with the fact that you have good levels in Sonic Wave, it just never really came to play. And then when the team fight started happening, Extreme just weren't putting together the team fights. There was missed Doom, I say missed Dooms, but Dooms weren't going off, people weren't on the same page, Arme was just blinking in by himself, and of course, we can talk about the negatives, but the positives, Na'Vi, they were on the same page, right? They've got Copy hitting beautiful coils, Yuragi stepping up into every engagement. It was like between everyone and Na'Vi, you can make a case for them having a key moment in a fight that enabled them to continue building the lead. And Extreme, I just nearly no positives to give them from their team fighting in this game.
Yeah, I could say that maybe one positive, not from team fighting, but from the way they started the game is that Texam still did find some farm on the Void Spirit. I feel like his itemization was proper and correct. I just never felt the exact follow-up to it.
He was by himself, right?
He was pretty much on an island. He does things, but there is no follow-up to the things that he does. So is there a different approach to the draft? I don't think drafting is an issue. I think T hit the nail on the head. They just weren't team fighting properly. This didn't look like the Extreme Gaming, and that's something that Extreme Gaming right now are kind of known for. One game they can look tier 1, the next game they can look like they did in the last one. So not sure. They need to refresh themselves somehow for going into game number 2.
Let's put one of their team fights under a microscope, and maybe we can figure out if it's more Extreme off kilter or if Na'Vi is doing a very good job at making Extreme Gaming look out of their comfort zone. Because we saw that this Doom, you said missed Doom, and then you're like, well, maybe that's not the right phrasing. No, I think it was the right phrasing, because Doom was missing in a lot of these team fights, and I'm not entirely sure if that is a product of Na'Vi controlling him quite well, or if XXS just didn't have the best positioning.
Yeah, so we do actually have one highlight about Doom, and hopefully we'll see it in a second. And it's pretty much one of those moments where they initiate on Extreme, and it feels like it should go a lot better for them, because they get a quick kill onto the Shaman. Again, the clip's going to have to play out for a little bit, but when you kill the Shaman already in your head for Extreme, it's we have numbers advantage. Doom, he's stepping up, he sees the Terrorblade on the low ground, but now he's silenced from the puck. Then he gets the coil broken. Now he's feared. Okay, now he's yours. You get another round, Curse Crown. Okay, now he's getting stunned. Tusk goes, okay, I need to save my Doom, so snowballs him to the right side. The entire time it's like, where's the Doom? Where's the Doom? Arme's like, you know what? Let's push the Terrorblade away from the Doom. We Sonic Wave him. So not only did the Doom walk in when it was a 4v5, number advantage to Extreme, he gets full silence, chain stunned, snowball to the right side, Arme pushes TB to the left side, and like all these little plays, if the snowball doesn't happen, just allow for the Doom. If the Sonic Wave doesn't push him away, you might get the Doom. Like there's so many moments where he could have doomed, but also Na'Vi did so many little plays to ensure that he was silenced, stunned, repositioned, and punished that it is kind of both answers to the question. It is Extreme not executing cleanly, but also Na'Vi identifying who is the key hero for the fight, and let's stop him from playing the game. So
they were like flies on him. Like they just won't let him play in peace. He was just constantly annoyed. Someone is always on his back, and he couldn't find the right Doom. I can understand the frustration and the jump in the end to try and just blow the TB up anyway, because they do have Quap and Void Spirit still. Like it's a lot of damage that those two can dish out in a second. The problem is, I feel like every time I see the same exact matchup of Quap versus TB, there's always that 1 millisecond when you can Sunder. It never kills you off completely. And usually you're so low that it hits the sweet spot and Queen of Pain instantly dies.
It's even easier whenever there's not the massive burst damage of a Scream, because Ame went for a right-click build. So the damage is a little bit more predictable and readable, and that's why Yuragi ended up feeling confident with his Terrorblade and getting themselves a Game 1 victory. Let's see if Extreme is going to be able to fight back in Game number 2.
The new breakthrough, an innovative phone with 1xBet app. With 1xBet app, you can register and start betting in just one click. Intuitive interface and thousands of sports events every day. User-friendly app. Big wins, fast payouts.
The human body was built to move. Not trapped at a desk in one singular posture for 12 hours a day. It's time your chair evolved. This is Secret Lab Titan Evo. Ergonomically engineered for you, gamers, hybrid workers, artists, every move.
I mean, BKB is the best item. Like you have to play game with BKB, or you will just die to spells. That's boring.
I completely agree with you. I think you actually need to like combine it with like good heroes in order for him to work. And also like this hero is pretty weak in lane, and he requires a lot of time to farm out as well. So yeah, he needs a right line out, needs time to farm, and weak in lane. Yeah.
Maybe in this patch it looks weak right now, but in lots of patch it's a very good hero. And also in this patch, I mean, in ranked game, there is one game Satanic play this and give me a free win. I just die on lane like 5 times and he carried the game. So it's it's the best hero. It's fun. It's really fun.
Exactly. It's really fun, and then you can do a lot of things with it, like as a techie player. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I'm giving 2 points because I know maybe there will be some new teams or new players, but I don't know they're playing right now. So yeah, but obviously there is not a lot.
It's been a while since we see new faces in China. Yeah, so it's been a couple of years that the old players are recycling.
I mean, he wished they can win TI, so yeah. Obviously that's 1 point. So yeah, and I'm tied one, so I mean team tied one. I have to have confidence of myself.
I mean, it's not 0 because we are like friends with them. Yeah, but or else it will be 0. Disagree. I think everyone who plays Dota has wanted to shout at his teammates before, or he has even done that before. Yeah, I think everyone has emotions.
Yeah. Everyone have some like bad time. I think that should be tier 5.
I think it's OP. It's even better than the Gossiper Cape. Was it? I do not know. I can't remember the name exactly. But it's now at tier 1 instead of like tier 2 or 3. Like you said, it could be even 5.
Yeah, it's just too OP.
Yeah.
In our team, sometimes we say you have to die to Tormentor to get the shard.
I think it depends. Like certain teams like Bad Boom, for example, I don't think that sometimes they want to die, but they underestimate the damage required to kill the Tormentor, which is why they died, or why someone dies. Could be my team as well. Yeah.
You must sacrifice yourself to the great cube in the sky so that it may bless you with an Aghanim's shard. I'm assuming that's probably an elaborate Chinese meme that I'm not privy to. You know, I'm just adding the poetry to it that I've come to expect from Chinese memes. Or maybe it's just like
They're next level. They're next level. Sometimes you even need 2 players to sacrifice themselves to get the shard. But
that's only for the Chinese teams. Whenever it's an Eastern European player, I don't think it's calculated.
No, not at all. They seem to just forget what the unit even does on the map, and they just sacrifice themselves just for the fun of it. It feels like
just for the love of the game.
Yeah, maybe it's like an internal leaderboard, and at the end of the season they get like a little award ceremony or something.
That would be sweet.
Yeah.
I'd love to see that. We got a leaderboard on viability of heroes, and Na'Vi are like, all right, great. We've proven that we can beat your Queen of Pain. Don't need to worry about it anymore. They ban it. First phase, along with Bristleback and Naga Siren Extreme, they stick to the basics. They take out Undying, Death Prophet, Bat Rider, and Templar Assassin.
Prophet in the pool. That's the one that I'm seeing.
Yep.
And I'm not, yeah, that Prophet, of course.
Although, were these the teams that didn't really care about it that much? Because there's some teams that just don't, like, they straight up ignore it.
I feel like Extreme can play it on 5. They have done it. They can play it on supports. And I really think the hero is... The stats speak for themselves. 80% win rate or 78.9. I think that's...
19 picks.
With 19 picks. At some point, it's undeniable that the hero is good.
I'm with you.
I feel that they could go for it. They could also snatch up the Shadow Shaman from Na'Vi that they played before very nicely. Oh my god, that's a first phase puck.
Yeah, we saw it with the Aurora series, where you see Shadow Demon, you pick Puck. It was a comfortable matchup for Kiyotaka, but not opposed to it at all. I think Puck is such a strong hero. We just saw Copy, of course, dominate on it in the previous game, so why not pick it up? If you see a clear reason for it, go for it. One thing to note as well that we didn't mention in the post-game was the fact that Extreme were baited in the previous draft, where they banned out both Beastmaster and Venge in the final phase, thinking that their Baden would just go to carry, right? Now, that got flexed to offlane. They got a 24-pick Terrorblade. With Na'Vi having no last pick in the draft, Extreme shouldn't be this baited. Hence why I think picking up a mid laner, enabling Arme or XSS to have all the information is very good.
And Na'Vi are looking, to that point, Na'Vi are looking much better when they have Yuragi on their last pick, 18th pick, whatever. So we'll see how they adjust to that. Because usually whenever they really dominate in a game, so far in the tournament, I've recognized the pattern where they pick the carry that they kind of last picked much earlier, and then it doesn't work out as well because it gets countered. It gets... They find ways of dealing with it basically on the other side.
But I don't want to get too caught up in recency bias because sure, while Yuragi or while XXS and Ame are going to get more options, you're now giving Copy all the room in the world to deal with this puck. Previously in the last game, he picked his puck first, and then Extreme picked the Void Spirit into it.
Void Spirit is more of a trading matchup where it's more about the gameplay. Who gets the good coil? Does Void Spirit get an early Ags? Is Void Spirit jumping the puck? Is puck jumping the Void Spirit? It's very, back and forth. I agree with you in regards to Copy seeing the puck. He will happily pick up a Monkey King or like a big statement mid laner to threaten the puck compared to other teams.
I'd just tiny him. Like if they pick the Shadow Shaman, most other mid laners, are annoying to play into. You see the Monkey King being banned out. You see the puck on the other side. To me, at least, Tiny feels good of a matchup. The only question is, do they feel as great about the hero in general?
Well, they have so far in the tournament. They have utilized Tiny in this position to flex it between Yuragi and Copy. So if they were picking it, it would be because they are looking towards the draft. And
there's we are back in some old school meta when it comes to position 4s. We had this exact combo played against Pucks and Spirits a long time ago, like Lion plus Tiny. And whenever is Lion in meta, I feel like this is a possibility. And now we have kind of similar 4s on both sides. To an extent, Lion brings you a bit more burst damage, of course, and Shadow Shaman brings you a bit more objective-taking capabilities.
It's always been the kind of the Na'Vi banner that has lifted Lion from the unpicked category, right? There's QBFY. Back in the old qualifiers, he played it 13 times in a row to qualify to, I believe it was a Dream League, and now Na'Vi Junior with Zayats picked up Shaman, and pretty much he single-handedly made it, the biggest thing in the meta. And of course, Ari picking up the line once more. So yeah, Na'Vi doing a lot of work bringing the hexers back into play.
Gotta say, Lion's impact already feels like it's going to be higher looking at these heroes that are picked. It's much easier to play it in this game, let's put it that way. But now with the Dawnbreaker, I feel like Extreme Gaming have activated both the Shadow Shaman and the Puck to an extent, because you can have this global presence with shackles and stuff. I like it. Any global...
the follow-up?
Follow-up, if it's there, you know, like it just makes the game so much easier to play. You have this Dawnbreaker with the Shadow Shaman. You don't have to think too much. As long as you're hiding somewhere on the map with a Shadow Shaman, you can hex someone, shackle him, follow up with the Dawnbreaker. Life is good.
It's marginally less reliable if you're dealing with a save like Shadow Demon.
The problem for Extreme is their execution of Teamfight wasn't too strong in the previous game, and they got an entire draft which is built around the Coil, the Solar Guardian. Obviously, I'm expecting them to have at least improved from game 1 to game 2. But they are susceptible. Their draft looks good at reacting to the initiation. They're kind of baiting Na'Vi, like, come on, please, try and find me with your line, try and find me with your Tiny, because at any minute, all 4 of our heroes, put a couple together, we will be able to outplay you and protect the hero that gets jumped. But they have to make sure that their kind of execution matches the draft that they're giving themselves.
They can also retaliate with a whole lot of burst damage, just between a Lion and a Tiny and Dissimulate.
I think I'd prefer Tiny to move to mid, just for the fact that you see Coil from Puck and Solar Guardian. But who cares?
Whoa.
Let's pick up the Huskar mid instead and just really ruin the Puck's game.
I've lost my charm with 18 Huskar compared to 24 Huskar.
Oh, Huskar's Huskar. At the end of the day, you see your matchup, that's all that matters. As long as there's no Doom or maybe even like an Ancient Apparition where you can just threaten his ability to stand up front with an early armlet.
Mm-hmm. Which Doom could still be a carry option.
Still
for
could be
Extreme.
picked. Yep.
Potentially.
They have good scaling. They have played Doom on carry before, and it won't be that terrible. That's why the ban as well from Na'Vi. It's a very good ban.
And obviously there's no reason to ban Ancient Apparition because you see Tusk and Shaman. Extreme do need to actually draft a good draft. We're likely looking at Arme on the carry.
Yeah, the problem is eventually the real problem is not only the Huskar, it's the Tiny as well.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to worry about having a normal carry at the end of the game.
PA got her Fan of Knives buffed. It's now undispellable, but it is a scepter instead of a shard.
Yeah, that's so expensive. I feel like that might be a bit too much. Like the move from the shard to Aghanims was really huge.
CK. I'm just thinking of anti-Huskar carries. Or rather breaks, I suppose.
5 seconds remaining.
Viper.
Again, dealing with Huskar is you either have break for the game or you shut him down in the early game. And you could argue with a Tusk and a Shaman, Dawnbreaker is somewhat independent. Once you get her a couple levels, she can play like a difficult 1v2 lane. So Tusk will be able to move to mid.
Yep.
SD, not the strongest rotating hero. Lion, can, depending on the scenarios.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking more towards Extreme, maybe answering the Huskar. When Copy steps up across the river to go on the high ground, a shard from the Tusk, Shaman coming in, you get a kill. Even, I think the best move right now in Dota is when Huskar walks to the first wave, you do a late smoke, bring 2 supports to the mid lane, and on that first wave, you get the kill. That gives just a bit more XP advantage to Puck to get the orb, to get the wave push, and then you kill him 3-4 minutes later. I'm expecting Na'Vi to be ready for this. It's kind of like a pub classic move that everyone's doing nowadays, but early aggression could be a better way to deal with it than having to force in and I need a break and I need this.
Yep, we have through the years found many different ways of dealing with the Huskar. Double rotations, single rotations, not blocking the wave, pulling it from distance. A lot of different ways of dealing with him, which we'll see. Maybe a dual lane as well is a possibility. When it comes to the last pick carry for them, with the Centaur ban, I feel like they want some glass cannon in the backlines, but you are still playing versus a Tiny.
10 seconds.
And now a Pango as well. That will gladly roll into you.
Yeah, so these kind of heroes, like your SFs and Linas that are left in the pool, might not be that great.
This is just one of those moments where you're probably looking to your carry player and you just ask him, what can you 1v9 on? Because your mid's not going to have a good time. Your off lane is setting up someone else to have success, and you're the one with the last pick.
You can't Medusa because of mana drain, I guess. A lot of heroes hate playing into Hex, the mobile ones. A lot of heroes hate playing into Shadow Demon. This guy doesn't care. In 90% of situations, I guess, he's going to play into anything. He's like, I was thinking about a hero like Medusa, but I couldn't find the next one, and that's the Gyro.
I'm happy we saw the win rate, because to me it's a 50-50 here. It exists. It's not great, it's not bad, it kind of does its job. I'm not opposed to it. I feel like Extreme did need something stable within their lineup, knowing that mid's going to be volatile. Bot lane, if you have a carry that like a Drow or a Morphling or something Army might play in other games, you have to protect this hero as well and fix the mid lane and maybe even help the Dawnbreaker. I think the critical thing is a carry that can be left alone. Dawnbreaker, if set up correctly, can be left alone. Puck will get the help from the supports. That's what the Gyro to pick is. It's respecting Huskar and respecting the fact that the map state is going to be very focused towards the mid lane.
Yeah, absolutely. Gyro to me was, I think, maybe even a forced hand. I can't, like, I'm still thinking, and I can't imagine a different carry that would actually do anything in this game. You have such a setup of anti-heroes on the other side between the supports and the Huskar on the mid lane, like Lion and Shadow Demon, that it was a really difficult pick to make. So Gyro, at least on paper, works. And they still have to overcome the Huskar mid. If they shut him down, I do believe that they can get carried by the Gyro in the end.
So far, I have no reason to doubt Copy whenever he feels like he has a matchup. And it was a very bold idea to push the Huskar at that point. So maybe we can find out some more insight as Nomad is standing by for a coach interview.
Thank you, Tsunami. Yep, I'm here with Milan from Na'Vi. So this Huskar pick, I want to know, was this like you saw the option for it on the 4th pick and you were like, sure, let's do it? Or was this sort of a bigger plan than that?
I mean, it's just like, I think a normal modern Huskar pick. I think first pick, like on 18, you want to have like a hero that's really a juicer. It's a gotcha pick. And I think it should be a game for that. We'll see.
All right, and how do you deal with the juicer? Or more importantly, how do you think Extreme are planning on dealing with the juicer?
I think they have a super tempo lineup. I think they have a good options in the game. And if they execute well, you know, if we both execute well, I hope we win. I think we might. But they have a clear plan. We're aware of it, and that's all that matters. You know, just no surprises, and then it's all execution.
Excellent stuff. All right, we'll see how the Huskar pick's working out for you. And what are the biggest threats on their draft, and how do you think you're going to be able to deal with them in the game?
Hey, just the tempo for me, the Dawnbreaker, Gyrocopter, they just run around. They can 5-man like minute 7 or something. I think that's their biggest strength. Yeah.
All right, we'll see how you do, but hoping for the 2-0 here. Milan from Na'Vi, thank you very much. We'll jump into game number 2 with Odie, Pixel, and Kezu.
Thank you very much there, Nomad and Milan. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Game 2 time between Na'Vi and XG, and it is indeed a Huskar game. Kezu, what do you make of the situation here? Have Extreme managed to wrap this up in a way that could deal with the Huskar?
You might have to wait, because they dropped a smoke behind them, and I think they're going for a level 1 kill on him.
Oh, I like it.
They want to kill him at the start of the game.
It's nasty, but so's the Huskar. You know, you got to defeat the nasty with the nasty.
You have to triple, double, quadruple nasty the nasty. Absolutely. Let's see. The creep blocks ever so important. Copy versus XM here.
Copies was a little bit better.
Uh-oh. He knows for now. Let's see.
I think he's going to get info. He's like, the guys, they're not shown on the side lanes. It's not going to happen. They're not even going to try for it. Yeah, they know that...
Step 1 complete. No surprises.
That was your heads up from Copy.
Yeah, I mean, I think Milan hit it pretty well, and this is also... someone's dying.
They'll get the first blood elsewhere, though. XXS taking down Kaori.
That was just a tag team into a Starbreaker. Just got caught out on the side. But yeah, I think both drafts, if they're played and executed to a high degree, you should likely win, because... Na'Vi with the Huskar here, Copy in the mid lane. Should have a free time. Reason.
Kale.
Okay. A classic. Absolute classic, of course. Modern age Dota with the lags.
Listen, Arme, on the Gyro, do you kind of like this a bit better than sort of the crazy? The Quap is a bit more reliable.
I like the Quap,
yeah,
but his gameplay I didn't like so much. So I'm hoping that, you know, the Gyro's a bit more straightforward. You've got the Dawn with you to help you out. I feel like it's just more straightforward, right? it's easier to have a stable and good game.
Yeah, you don't have to go for these sort of risky like blink plays.
Yeah.
There's
playing,
yeah.
you know, a slow and stationary carry. He's gonna build his carry items and he's gonna press flak and sit there.
So definitely a bit more chill from him on the Gyro this game. We'll see how much XM can get out of this lane.
Well, honestly, anything he can is kind of a bonus because this lane is so nasty. All of these like low range heroes into the Huskar. He never draws creep aggro.